And we're back. Episode 4 is live and direct after 30 minutes of bullshit with our best friend Kevin Ghost. We are officially live with thousands and thousands of listeners. How excited are you guys? I am joined by my co-host Bryan Kern. Say
Hola.
hi.
Hola.
And our first official guest of the I Hate the Scene circa 2020 era, Kev Ghost of Ghost Town.
What's up, guys?
I was going to say, if you don't talk, that's going to be really awkward. He mutes his mic again.
I feel like the whole atmosphere just like I'm nervous now or something.
Don't be nervous, dude.
Nah, man, we just cranked it up to 100.
Do we need to bust into the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air song to just loosen up? Loosen. Do we gotta loosen it up?
Okay. First headline of the day, with our tradition, is going to be Tekashi 6ix9ine. You know, our boy recently got out of jail. He was granted permission to film a music video. He bought a shit ton of cars, and he's supposed to return a week from today. So that means he's probably going to be talked about on next week's show as well. Are either one of you guys looking forward to the return of Tekashi 6ix9ine?
When you say return, what are we referring to exactly?
A music video and a song.
We're assuming it's going to be shot in his backyard, so I can only imagine how
house arrest
it's going to be in his backyard. And I also feel like we're going to get probably a non-quarantine amount of people allowed in the music video. Those are my two guesses.
Many laws will be broken.
You know what?
Perhaps.
I was never a fan of his music personally.
Me either.
I'll give the guy this. He's pretty damn entertaining.
I think if you copied his style, like his hair and his rainbow grill, I think your fans would love it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Not quite.
I'm getting an astounding no from a lot of fans.
The guy's entertaining. I understand he's like a professional troll or whatever. I mean,
so am I.
Couple levels, but okay.
His hair is cool, but I wouldn't, I'd probably just stick to one color. Hey guys, I was thinking about dyeing my hair, so if you have any suggestions, let me know.
Hashtag, what color should Kevin dye his hair? So Tekashi's also beefing with 50 Cent. 50 Cent was a big supporter of Tekashi for a long while. And as we know, 50 Cent abandoned his child, Marcus Diamond, his biological son. Now Tekashi's saying it wouldn't be the first son you abandoned because 50 doesn't want to collab with them. I find that to be hilarious. What I find even more hilarious are these 50 Cent murals popping up in Australia.
My God.
50 Cent painted beautifully with no teeth. 50 Cent painted beautifully as Taylor Swift, as our president, as Tekashi himself, and as Post Malone.
Wait, so 50 Cent with no teeth?
Yeah.
It says he's took many trips to the candy shop.
You just stole that joke from my brain.
That's what the tweet said.
That's what
Sorry.
it said. The tweet.
I haven't even seen the tweet. I could have made the tweet.
The artist did. The artist actually did. He actually did that and did the tweet.
Genius. Someone had to say it, right?
And it just couldn't be you.
Oh,
hey guys, I see your comments over here, by the way, of the colors of color I should dye my hair. Hey,
yeah,
by the way,
we've got purple, we've got blue.
By the way, we're gonna this is all part of the show. These guys are gonna talk some mad shit. I think they're hilarious. So
Kevin's way nicer than we are. That's a fact.
We've been so nice this whole time.
Even if you don't fuck with 50 Cent or Tekashi 6ix9ine, stick around. I promise they don't talk about the same people the whole time. It's hilarious. These guys are awesome.
The beauty of it is that we don't discriminate any genres, well, except country, because fuck that shit.
No, and I love that.
We're going to bring up metal. We're going to bring up metalcore, every core genre you like. We're going to talk about hip-hop. We're going to talk about EDM. We're going to talk about everything. So any artist you like, throw it our way, and we'll talk about them. We'll review their music. We don't discriminate. That's the beauty of it. It's I hate the scene. We hate every scene.
So that's the cool thing about this show, guys, is like, I don't know. I feel like there's so many artist interviews, and those are great and they serve a great purpose and like they're super informative. But I feel like this is more of like a discussion, and that's what I like about your guys' show.
Thanks, man.
So anyway,
I I'm glad you threw out that
This is
disclaimer.
my
I just
favorite
wanted, you know, I
episode.
feel
This
like
is
there's a
my
lot of
favorite
new
episode.
I hate the scene listener or viewers right now in here, and they you know, you got. I feel like you should kind of explain to them a little bit. But
I'm
also,
seeing people mention Ollie Sykes. I'm seeing people mention Motionless in White. I'm seeing people
There you
mention Billie Eilish. I see a random mention of Luke Bryan. I can't guarantee we'll feature Luke Bryan, but we do feature a Bryan Kern. But those other artists, of course, will be brought up. As soon as Motionless drops a new song, a new record, it'll be featured here. If I can get Chris Motionless on this live stream, we will. If I can find whatever crypt he's sleeping in, I will definitely interview him. I love that band. They're still sick as shit. Fever 333, the same thing. Isn't that
Amazing.
Let Live band?
Can we actually get a
Yeah.
shout out to Let Live reforming and doing a little 10-year anniversary
that is
drop?
sick.
Hey,
Honestly,
man.
I
Let's hear it.
hated how they were always so underrated, dude. They were so talented, so amazing, like authentic.
Did they ever do a headline tour?
Not in like there was anything over exaggerated.
Nothing like, yeah.
Yeah, they did like a couple. Yeah, obviously they had like their headline stints, right? But they didn't do anything that was too dramatic. And I've been in the unpopular opinion, but I believe that the acclaim Fever 333 is receiving should have gone to Let Live. And I feel that, you know, and I feel that maybe they're going to piggyback the Fever 333 hype and do, you know, the
Set it off.
10-year anniversary. Oh man, I love it. I love it, man. I'm all about it.
I see mentions of Set It Off. I see mentions of Pierce the Veil. Yes, these are artists that we love. My Chemical Romance's return. Yes, too bad coronavirus ruined that for everyone.
Oh my god, how tragic! The whole thing, dude.
Becca's heartbroken.
That's how you know God hates My Chemical Romance. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
In other news, I seen that Gigi Hadid and Zayn Malik were having a kid, but who the fuck gives a shit?
Who?
Exactly, who? Everyone's having quarantine babies, so that's not even news.
Oh man.
I see mentions of I Prevail in this moment. Yes, Say We Can Fly. You're mentioning several bands that Kevin and I have actually toured with, so definitely.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee I'll feature Five Finger Death Punch, but the rest of the artists you've mentioned
we have a
are
strict no
Palais
five-finger
Royale
death punch
The homies.
policy over here. Very strict no 5-finger death punch policy.
Yeah, it's because of the death in the name. I can't do it. Love Palais Royale. Shouts to Remy, Sebastian, and Remington. Those
Emerson.
motherfuckers are crazy. Emerson,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Emerson always dresses like a pirate. I love him.
Yeah, he's
Those are amazing dudes.
the
In
homies.
other news,
I took
I-
fun fact, your boy took them on their first tour ever. I feel like a proud parent almost.
Tell us about that. How was that? How was that taken? You know, did you feel like a little responsibility, you know, on your shoulders having to take this young band out on the
You
road?
know what? No, I mean I loved taking out younger bands, or like it's funny when you say younger bands because it could be just younger as in the band is
The
new,
tenure, yes.
or like younger as in they're actually like an age younger. But no, those guys absolutely incredible. It's funny because you know their style's super loud. They're really fashion forward people in general. That's just who they are. And any uneducated person or like closed-minded person might think, oh, those guys are dicks or whatever, this or that. Nicest, the most genuine dudes ever. And honestly, like they're just super genuine dudes.
Kevin was nice enough to bring me along that tour, and I remember looking at the bill before it got released, and I asked him, who the hell is Player Royal? And he gave me a little insight about him, but I had no idea what to expect. I honestly assumed it'd be some like scene band that would sound like Woe Is Me or some shit. And when we got on tour, they turned out to be rock and roll to the bone.
Dude,
and yes, they are the most humble people. They are some of the greatest people. The funny thing about them, they don't know any of these scene bands. They are totally in their own realm. They are they're inspired by artists I've never heard of. And that's what always blew my mind about them. They're really cool dudes too. Hung out with them the whole tour.
They're actually, it's funny you say that because obviously now they're super educated in that scene and you know, they're very much accepted in our underground rock scene now. But those guys, they're like that band that comes along every once in a while that you know they're gonna outgrow, you know, the underground rock scene that we all know and love, you know. And I love that. I'm rooting for them the whole way.
I wouldn't be shocked to see them rocking arenas in like just a few short years. Every
They're
album they
already
get bigger
getting
and bigger.
close. So
One of the news stories I'm really excited to bring up is something that I snagged from a single post by a Mr. Craig Owens of Chiodos.
yeah,
d.r.u.g.s is reuniting. d.r.u.g.s is going to get back together. d.r.u.g.s is going to do a tour, destroy, rebuild until God shows. How stoked are you guys?
if you guys don't, if anyone listening, watching doesn't know who d.r.u.g.s is, oh my God, you have to check them out. And if you don't know who Craig Owens is, go back as far as Chiodos, and I promise you, you will be very much entertained. Incredible music. I miss bands that have music that feels through composed, you know?
I really geeked out over that d.r.u.g.s record. The thing about it is it was short-lived. Craig has this issue where he doesn't put out 2 consecutive projects under the same band. He bounces between a Chiodos, a Cinematic Sunrise, an Isles and Glaciers, a Sound of Animals Fighting, a Craig Owens solo record, getting kicked out of Chiodos, doing another project, so many things. To see that coronavirus is what affected a d.r.u.g.s reunion, it gives me hope that when this shit's all over with, we're going to get Destroy, Rebuild Until God Shows again. And it's going to be amazing. Imagine a follow-up album.
So d.r.u.g.s was the band he went into after he left Chiodos, right? So it was his first like passion project that he actually had. Now, Isles and Glaciers was like a super group with Johnny Craig, and it had a bunch of people in it. It wasn't necessarily like a new band or a side project.
Yeah, it was
like
a super group, and they'll never, ever return,
so
according to Craig.
d.r.u.g.s.
I wish there was more
Craig's
stuff like that, man. Honestly,
I do too. Yeah, and think about the Sounds of Animals Fighting. They were like the first one that had like the mass supergroup, right? It was a supergroup that everybody, you knew
So
you were
weird.
getting different components. You knew you were getting different styles. You had that with Isles and Glaciers, and with d.r.u.g.s you had that. You also had Nick Martin from Undermined in d.r.u.g.s.
And Sleeping with Sirens.
Yes, and I believe there was someone from First to Last.
Matt Good from FFTL, the drummer
Yes.
from Story of the Year.
And
It
someone
was
from
a
Pierce the Veil,
legit
right?
Who?
I thought the other guitarist was like the Pierce the Veil guitarist, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it Nick Martin and the dude from First to Last? I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
They
those were the 2 guitarists.
Yes, but it was its own supergroup kind of, but it was the first project outside of Chiodos that Craig went to, so everybody I think expected a lot out of it. And it did. It hit real hot, real quick, real fast, and then it fizzled, and that's when I think the cycle of Craig kind of started. That's when you started seeing him kind of cycle in and out of bands. I mean, but look what you got. You got a return to Chiodos that was phenomenal, I thought that his little grindcore side project he was doing was pretty dope. I like that he's just being creative.
Side project.
Yes, he has. It's a 6-song. I'll have to find the name. Maybe somebody in here in the chat knows it, but there's a 6-song EP that he put out as like this little grindcore project. It's phenomenal. I like that he's just being creative. He was working with 50 Cent for a while, if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't know Craig had a grindcore project either.
Yeah,
No,
it was
wait,
crazy.
Craig Owens? You mean Dr. Dre?
Yes. Dr. Dre. Yes, that's what it was. Yes, he was working.
I had
with
no-
Dre
yeah,
on, like,
no,
the
it's
entire
weird.
album. Yes.
Nah.
No, I'm on this live stream too. I'll call you back.
Yeah,
What's up, Kev?
He's a wanted man, dude. He's important.
Okay, hey,
Robin?
real quick before we say anything else, real quick, guys, everyone in here, I do have a big announcement, and it's coming at the end of the stream, so please stick around. I forgot to mention that because I posted big announcement everywhere, and someone probably came in while we were talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine, and they're like, "Wait, what?" So that is coming at the end. And if you see me on my phone every once in a while, that's literally me.
Yeah, me too. Sorry about that, guys. Got a call.
Matt, oh my God. You guys should
important.
you know what you need? If you want to show off your Jordan, are those Jordans?
This is my LeBron 17 shoe. It's my shoe
I
phone.
just have my foot.
Yeah, no, I'll call you back.
I'm not going to put my foot up here. That's all I have.
We just need a camera that's like at your feet that it just switches to every once in a while. And like it'll be like a plug, dude. Every week you can be wearing a different pair of shoes. You can get sponsorships. It'll be a great thing.
This episode of iHateTheScene.com is brought to you by Air Jordan. No, not really.
Yeah.
The chat room is referring to it as shoe energy, guys. We've officially established shoe energy within the I Hate the Scene universe. You're welcome. Shoe energy. Big shoe energy.
That's funny because
Big
that's what the
shoe energy.
cellular company on my shoe is called, is Shoe Energy.
Big shoe energy, baby.
I'm seeing comments. What about Get Scared? I liked Get Scared. I really thought there was going to be a Ghost Town Get Scared tour at some point.
Dude, I wanted there to be one. Like, it's funny because I randomly spent a period of time with Nick Matthews at the very beginning of Ghost Town when we were all living in this one little industrial sized room that you're not supposed to live in like a warehouse. And Nick Matthews would be there every other day randomly. And let me think. Yeah, he was going to get on a song, and literally he was down. He said he was down to get on a song, and it just didn't happen. And then Chris Shelley got on instead.
Shouts to Chris Shelley and At the Skylines RIP.
Chris Shelley, what
Yeah,
up?
someone tagged this fool.
Yeah, someone tag Chris Shelley. Someone go find a burger joint in LA and dig up Chris Shelley and tell him that we're all talking shit about him right now. He'll be super stoked.
Good Lord.
So yeah, Drugs is coming back. Super stoked about that. I also, when I'm skimming through Facebook, I caught some band drama.
Scamming. Nice.
Scamming. When I'm scamming for Jordans, I was skimming Facebook and I caught some band drama. The Sumerian Records band Slaughter to Prevail. They're heavy as shit. They're out of Russia. It appears they're having some label drama. Their guitarist shared the sarcastic thanks Sumerian because they wouldn't post their newest single. So the vocalist had to release it on his own YouTube channel. And it's not surprising to see some band drama going on with Sumerian. I think at one point that label was really respected. I think those times have changed now. But you might be looking at Slaughter to Prevail to find a new label home pretty soon. And yes, Eileen, there is a Ghost Town poster in the background.
I've never heard of Slaughter to Prevail. Are they newer?
Whoa.
They've been around like the past 4 or 5 years, but they go, so you probably wouldn't like them too much. And I think some of their songs are in Russian.
I feel like the first bands that I heard with that in that genre were the bands that I just forever liked, and then everything after that was like they do like subtly different things, but it's very similar, you know?
Yeah, they are a strictly like Russian deathcore band. They have songs called like Death and shit like that.
Like death.
Yeah, it's super heavy. I see some people bragging about their signed Ghost Town posters. I have signed Ghost Town merchandise as well, so we're in the same boat.
I just realized that I did not share this on the.
There's actually a couple people that are jealous of your fucking fanboying, Matt. Believe it or not, they're like, "Oh, he's got the Ghost Town merch, and I don't." In the background.
Yo, you know what? I just found a bunch of OG Ghost Town posters, and I don't know what to do with them.
I think there's some people in the chat who would beg for that. Woo! The funny thing about this Ghost Town poster is until right now, or I think Kevin might have seen it in the last episode, he didn't know I stole that from his tour.
I did not know that I just posted that live video to my feed. Tight. That is...
tight.
I just feel like, I'm sorry, maybe I'm just not used to like... being on social media. I'm just like, wow, I look like trash.
You're good, dude. You're beautiful. You are beautiful in
every single way.
Words
can't bring me down.
You guys make me
I see someone mentioning Saskatoon. Shouts to Saskatoon. It's cold as shit there. I have no idea how you guys get concerts, but I hope you do. I did a show there about 3 months ago. It was super cold. And yeah, Saskatoon is now warmer, but it doesn't change the fact that you're in Saskatchewan, and that is one of the coldest places I've ever been in my life, and I almost died on your roads. So please plow your roads, Saskatoon.
Plow them roads, gang.
Plow them roads, dog. Should I continue with the headlines? I got one more. Oh, I got two more. This is going to affect all three of us because I think all three of us have visited this location. Amoeba Hollywood is closing its doors because of the pandemic and the effect it's had on local businesses in the Hollywood area.
I hate this so far.
The whole interview and the whole podcast? I know, bro. I'm trying my best.
This news is genuinely like, okay, keep going.
They were trying to be established as a historical landmark, and apparently that didn't work. Bryan, you had some updates for me that was news to me. I didn't even know this.
So I'm going to actually pull it up right now. But What is going on is, yes, Amoeba, the original location that Matt is referring to, is closing. What is going on is they were originally going to close and open up a new location off of Hollywood Boulevard, and that is still the case. If you head on over to amoeba.com, it's AMOEBA, you can actually get an update on it. And so the update on the front page is as of February 5th, 2020, but further on in the article, if you like click around in the page, it says that due to COVID, they've been forced to shut down, but they still plan on reopening or doing the actual official opening of the new location off of Hollywood Boulevard. And there's actually a GoFundMe that you can contribute to if you go to amoeba.com right now. And yeah, they explain it all right on the website. So go check it out. So they are closing, yes, but they're actually just going to be opening up in a new location. Their San Francisco location, it also in the article said that it was closing. I don't know if they're going to be opening up another location there. I didn't follow through on that.
I want to explain to some of our younger viewers what a record store is.
Imagine
iTunes as an actual store. Amoeba Records was legitimately the best record store you could come to in America. I don't know of anyone that could tell you a better record store.
Wait,
it was it was 2 stories. The best one was located on the Sunset Strip in Hollywood. There were artists that would do concerts live from the record store.
Yep.
I went to a concert there, and the artist pulled me up on stage. I was super stoked.
We went and saw Evidence.
Shouts to Evidence,
after he
LA.
released the Weatherman LP.
Shouts to Evidence. 2007 was a good year for us. Bryan filmed it on his old phone and then lost it, so I never got to share it. Shouts to you for being a dipshit.
That was a pivotal day in my life, actually. A very pivotal day. And we went down there, and it became this like very just weird retrospective adventure for me, and seeing you up on stage and the fact that we were enjoying, I think, something that kind of brought us together, music, in such a weird atmosphere. You know, you think Warehouse Records, you think like record alleys, you think
FYE maybe.
Stores. FYE was the shit. Sam Ash.
Tower Records.
Yes.
Virgin Record Store. Sam Ash.
Stores.
Sam Goody.
Here in Austin, Texas, we have Waterloo Records, which is the same concept. It's a little bit smaller,
but Amoeba blows it out the water.
It does. You know, Amoeba is just on a different level, and it's in Hollywood. It's in the heart of Hollywood. It's literally a staple, and it was being registered to be a national landmark. But they're actually getting the Hollywood Boulevard location, which it sounds like. So that's going to be phenomenal for them.
Wait, who's getting a Hollywood location?
Amoeba Music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Amoeba Records. Yeah. Sorry.
Yo, I'm sorry, guys. It looks like I'm listening, but I'm like posting to everything.
Do your thing. Do your thing, baby girl.
If there's anyone who wants to, any ghosts out there who want to help me run all my Instagram accounts, hit me up.
I see a lot of people asking. A lot of people are asking for expired Ghost Town merch, lanyards. A lot of people have been to your meet and greets before.
Maybe we can
really want to meet Kev and the band. Do you like Evanescence?
Of course we do. Respect.
Respect.
They were dope.
He said "were" as if they broke up.
Oh, they're dope.
They're gonna do.
They were dope when I would listen to them.
In other news, apparently AMC theaters and Regal cinemas are not going to show Universal Pictures anymore because of like straight to home releases. The movie Trolls World Tour, which according to your girl Becca said that movie was about me. It's actually not. That was a runaway success. And so now Universal is going to continually release videos on demand instead of to the theater. The theater as we know it is dying out. And now we're not going to get movies like Fast and Furious 9 featuring John Cena. And we're not going to get Jurassic World Dominion. So I don't know. You're going to have to watch them in your house and not go to the theater, which is terrible because now you can't. What are you going to do? Bring your chick over for a date? She's going to think you're sleazeball if you're inviting over to your house on the first date. You need to go somewhere public so she feels safe.
You know what?
Come on now.
I have a prediction.
Predict me.
I think that Netflix or Hulu, probably Netflix, is going to open up branded movie theaters where they're going to premiere Netflix movies. That's what I think.
That's the smartest thing I've heard you say all year.
Damn, that sucks because I've actually run a lot of things by you.
He's like, I didn't like that idea at all. I actually was going to scrap that before you mentioned it. The only thing that made me say
I feel like a natural progression. They're taking over the movie entertainment industry. Why wouldn't they do that Because I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, well, obviously it's not going to happen anytime soon, right? Like once we can all go out again. But I also think that Netflix should start a music streaming platform.
That's a good
That's
point.
not a bad
Yes,
idea at all.
the movie theater concept. I'll have to get back to you on that one. As far as the thinking if chicks are going to be weird when you have to call them over to watch Universal movies on their release, I don't think that's the case. I think that's actually going to become the social norm. In fact, I think that the movie theaters are going to be hard pressed after this is all said and done to entice the studios to send them the movies, right? Because I think the studios are going to start going to the streaming platforms and start cutting deals that way.
Mm.
I'm seeing some great
Big
comments.
brain, big brain.
Kev called the future. That's true. Bring
true
back
energy.
drive-ins. Hashtag reopen Blockbuster. I worked at Blockbuster when I was 17. Let me assure you, that bitch is never coming back ever. I definitely put the store I worked at out of business. We have 3 drive-in theaters near me. There are theaters with bed seating already, so why not? No, that's straight to third base on the first. Yo, no, hey, whoa.
Hold up.
Hold up, wait a minute. So my thoughts on this: if the theaters are dying, and it's because the runaway success of Trolls World Tour, as the Joker said, you got what you fucking deserve. Because you went and bought Trolls World Tour, so you should be responsible for the death of something awesome like the theaters. So don't go see that movie, and go out and support local businesses. And you know what? Just for shits and gigs, go out and buy 2 copies of Evolution for Kevin. Nothing? Okay, cool. We're gonna move on to album reviews now. I had a fan submitted question that was why we don't give albums grades. It's a really simple answer. Grades for albums are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Music is subjective. I can only tell you what it sounds like and what it meant to me. I can't give it a 1 through 10 rating because at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything. There's magazines that print album reviews. There's websites based on album reviews, and they're most of the time they're paid by the label or managers to give a certain rating to an album. There's albums that were rated 2 out of 10 that I thought meant the world to me, and they were emotional and they impacted my life. And some dickhead in a magazine gave it 2 out of 5 stars. So I'm not going to ever give a number or a star rating to an album. We're just going to describe it and tell you how we felt about it. Does that sound fair? Sound fair? Cool. All right, cool. The first album I reviewed this week, it's a little late. I think we're a week late on this one. Picturesque, Do You Feel Okay? I like this record. Shouts to Vinny Esmeralda. He brought it to my attention. It's a solid post-hardcore effort. If you're a fan of post-hardcore, this album was probably already on your radar. The vocals are that high-pitched style that I personally want from my post-hardcore. I've already bored Kevin and he's left us. You got warm guitars, as they would say. You have big sounding drums. It's a good, solid post-hardcore effort. Bryan, did you listen to it?
I did. I did actually have it on my notes last week, and I meant to say it. I did listen to it. I enjoyed Picturesque. They have the sound that I think where the post-hardcore is kind of going, right? You kind of have that melodic, energetic, almost. I don't want to refer to as like the new metal power songs of like the 90s, but they almost have like where every track, again, we talked about this last week, is kind of a banger. And Picturesque, they just fit that mold perfectly. It's a great, another great album in the line of what they've got already. You actually, I believe, turned me on to them a couple years back, and
I randomly met them in Buffalo on a tour with Set It Off, and I woke up like I'm talking like midnight, getting ready to drive from Buffalo to like Cleveland or some shit. And this guy's there, and the band was partying with them. And I said, "Hey, who are you?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm so-and-so from Picturesque." And I said, "Oh, I've heard of you. What's up? I'll listen to your record." Sorry it took me like 4 years to get around to it. But yeah, Set It Off is an awesome band, so definitely stay tuned to them. And Picturesque, yeah, I really like the record. It's a lot of the songs are about relationships. Who can't relate to that? As my buddy Vinny put it, they have songs that are like I love you and miss you, but also fuck that bitch music. So it's definitely good for relationships, whether you're in one or freshly out of one. Kevin, did you listen to it at all?
I did, Ollie. No.
Sweet. All right, moving on.
Moving on.
I'm gonna check it out.
That's how I was last week with it. Old news, baby.
I'm
Old
gonna.
news. Moving on.
Hey,
They set us up for that one.
You know what would be sick?
If Netflix opened movie theaters.
If Evolution won a Grammy?
Even better. If I Hate the Scene, you guys, had a Spotify playlist with your songs of the week. Boom!
That would be so diverse.
Are we on Shark
I think
Tank
it would.
now?
I feel like a Spotify playlist between me and Bryan would impress and disappoint people within like 3 tracks.
Ourselves
but yes,
included.
I'm totally down for it.
Ourselves
I'm
included.
serious, guys. What do you think? These guys right here, they know a thing or two about music.
You're in charge of it, Matt. Thanks.
Hold up, what's going on?
Yo, someone.
Yeah, no, I
Right.
never heard of that idea.
Hey,
about
so while
Spotify
Matt's on
playlist
that
either.
phone call,
I mean, I
Kev,
guess
what do you
I
got
could.
for
It's
us,
just
man?
gonna
What are
be
you
weird
working
between,
on?
like,
You got
rap
anything
and metal.
interesting you wanna drop on us right now?
I mean, I'm down to
mic time,
do it.
buddy.
People keep asking about.
I just don't want to give Kevin credit for his idea, though.
Yo, Matt.
Oh, hold on. All right, I gotta go. What up, Kev?
I'll call you back later. All right. No. I want to clear up something about Evolution. It's been off Spotify for quite some time now, and I'm just as frustrated as everyone who's been asking about it. I promise you. The whole thing behind that was when we left Fueled by Ramen. We actually left 2 months into the release of that album, which was kind of a pretty hard blow to our momentum. We had a whole year of touring scheduled, and we lost our support, like our team. We lost our support system when it came to to the label stuff 2 months into the release of that record. And we put a lot of fucking hard work into that thing. And so the thing with record labels, they give people advances, and then they take your revenue stream until the advance is paid back. So basically we're like, hey, it feels like you don't, want to promote this record anymore since it's 2 months into the release. So instead of you owning the whole thing, can you just give us the record so we can give it a dying chance? And they were like, okay, that's fair, and I'm not hating. This is just what happened. So 12 months later, once you go through all the legal stuff, when the cycle of the album was pretty much over, they gave us the record. So we had the only way they could give it to us to where we completely owned the masters was if it was completely taken offline and then we re-uploaded it. At the time, we were also going through some other issues on the back end, and we're like, yo, this is so devastating to rip down an entire record, lose, millions and millions of streams. I think Spark was over 1 million on Spotify. It was just like, it sucked really bad, but so we're like, all right, if we're going to let something this devastating has to happen, then we're going to re-upload it even better than how it was when we took it down. So we're going to re-upload it with all the B tracks, with like remastered, with a few acoustic songs, maybe a new album cover, all this stuff. So those plans alone held us up. But now it's to the point where I just want to put the damn thing back up so everyone can enjoy it, because it's like, okay, we wanted to do things bigger and better, and at least have kind of a good reason for it to be taken down. But at this point, I really just want to get it back up. But still, I will make sure the B-side tracks are on. So
I just want to point out how much I also miss Evolution. I heard you talk about that before, so when I personally seen it off iTunes, I kind of knew what was up. It also goes to show you that if you look up your favorite band and you find that a release isn't on iTunes, there's always a legit reason for it. If you go back and look up songs from the early 2000s, especially if you look up any collaboration with R. Kelly, you'll find that they're missing those songs off iTunes, and it's always to do with like legal reasons and stuff. I personally miss Evolution because I think it was Ghost Town's best record. It was the most thought out, solid effort you guys put together, the most complete project that Ghost Town was a part of. Like, that was Ghost Town at its best. That was Ghost Town. Like, if there was a Grammy for those types of bands, y'all would have got one for each of you, Alex and Manny. Nothing?
Dude,
cool.
I really appreciate that. I mean, I feel like it really depends on who you ask, because
do you think some people hate it?
I wouldn't say people hated it. I feel like some people thought it was Ghost Town, like tamed down a little bit, like a little bit of that bite and edge wasn't there. Maybe some people thought that.
I mean, in the sense of like maybe there was less screaming, or there wasn't like a huge electronic core breakdown. But to me, that's not what Ghost Town, what defines you guys as a band.
No, it was definitely, yeah. No, I mean, I completely agree with you. Like, there's so many elements. I'm having a hard time with this hat, but I'm really trying to be part of the crew right now.
I'm not.
Hat gang.
I mean,
shouts to hats.
I have a
hashtag hats.
I think the problem is I keep trying to, like, everything's backwards looking in the trying to fix it in here. Anyway. Yeah, Matt, no, you make a really good point. I do love Evolution. Those are some of the most meaningful songs I've ever written. It's kind of interesting to hear some of the demos for that album. And maybe I had demo-itis, but I actually liked some of the demos better than the final versions.
That's rare. That's a rare feat for a band to feel like you did a demo. Well, I mean, at that point, you're not putting out demos that are done on GarageBand in someone's basement. You guys were a legit signed band, fueled by ramen. You're on Warped Tour already at that point.
Thank you,
the demos,
sorry.
You know.
Yeah.
No, yeah. We're going to run over each other a ton of times in this interview.
It's hard not to respond to some of the comments, but I don't want to like ruin the flow, fuck up the flow of your guys' thing.
No, I definitely want to take time to respond to these fans because they're so dedicated for sticking around already for 1 hour, and we're going to keep going. We normally run shows that are an hour long, but because we have such a cool guest, Kev Ghost, we're going to go long on this episode. So be glad you're here live, because some of it's going to have to get chopped up for the audio, and you're going to be able to see all of it afterwards on YouTube. Someone's asking, where's Matty Mullins? He's on our I Hate the Scene YouTube. This is Kev Ghost.
Yes.
Love Matty.
That was yesterday.
Matty was so
Thanks
cool.
for showing up.
What do you mean?
So.
It's me. I don't even know how to do a Matty impression. I love Matty, by the way.
I don't think if you slicked your hair back, it still wouldn't look like Matty's.
Hey, I need some of that On Point pomade.
Yeah, you just need the pomade.
I need it, and I wear a hat every day, so that's how good it is.
This episode inspired by On Point pomade.
Shouts to On Point Pomade. Get it at onpointpomade.com from your boy Matty Mullins, who writes super sweet records.
Seriously, though, I watched that interview, Matt, and it's funny, like, asking Matty, like, yo, some singers choose this, some people choose that. Like, you chose hair pomade. Like,
he's the first, right?
Yeah, but hearing his the whole process that he went through, like years of like testing and like scientists like coming up with different formulas, it was pretty insane. He gives a fuck. He
does, and he cares about his fans, and I'm really proud of that interview. I think out of like the 15 plus years that I've been doing interviews with bands, sports figures, mayors, governors, whatever it may be, that was honestly one of my favorite, and I didn't expect it to be. We tell the story at the end of that podcast, or at the end of that interview, how it came to be. It's really interesting. So I would recommend, if you're a fan of Memphis Mayfire, if you're a fan of I Hate the Scene, go check it out on the YouTube page after this live stream, because we're going to go for like 45 hours, baby.
Yeah, party all night. Just cue the rave music.
You know, you can make your own rave song if you say Boot City, Cat City. Boot City, Cat City, Boot City, Cat City, Boot City.
Okay.
Boot City, Cat City.
Dang, Boot City, Cat City, Boot City, Cat City, Boot City, Cat City, Boot City, Cat City.
And we're back with more
Oh, no.
album reviews.
You fucked that up. You should have told me that. Oh no.
Guys, the live version is always going to be different from the YouTube edited. This is what actually happens in those edited videos. This is all this good stuff people miss.
Oh, this is all going up, though. Yeah, this is all going up. This is all.
This is
up
why
already.
you need to like
This is
I
here
Hate
already.
the Scene on Facebook, because when
Yes.
you get the live version, you get all
Yes.
the dumb bullshit antics that you're gonna giggle at.
Hey,
Because
guys,
Again.
seriously, Matt, I've known you for what, over 10 years?
15,
Bryan,
but who's counting?
Yeah.
Bryan, I've known you for a very long time as well.
Same
These
amount,
guys are
actually.
amazing. They're putting out really quality content. Like their page, follow them on Twitter, on Instagram. These guys are awesome. I'll definitely be back on the show.
And we're definitely gonna mention you and reference your records. And if I interview anyone that sounds like Ghost Town, I'm gonna bring it up.
Oh, and also, if you're just joining us, I have a big announcement at the end of the show. So,
Big, huge, earth-shattering announcement at the end of the episode. But back to album reviews.
Let's do it.
Our Last Night, a band that, what was it, like 2008? I discovered this band. They were really, really young. They have a new record. I forget what it's called. It's called Let Light Overcome the Darkness. Has a really cool album cover of a butterfly and a tiger. I really dig that.
Trendy.
If you like Our Last Night, then you're gonna dig this album, not just because it's them, but it's one of those bands that they stay true to their style. Aggressive, fast-paced verses with the addictive, catchy sing-song choruses. You're not getting their typical cover songs. You're getting all original content. You're literally in 2020. How many albums has it been that you've seen this band grow into one of the most respectable post-hardcore bands in the scene? I don't think there's many that do the 50-50 blend of screaming and singing better than them. Bryan, did you like this record?
I did. And originally, Boston Manor was my number one for this weekend, but Our Last Night, I think, took that over. I listened to it twice. It did. Yeah, 2008. I mean, from 2008, their first album, that's when it came out.
Ghosts Among Us on
yes,
Epitaph. I still have
yeah.
it somewhere.
And then
here somewhere.
their following album is probably one of the best sophomore follow-ups of like any of the bands, I think, during that time. What are you looking for?
I was looking for the album, but I don't have a CD rack anymore.
That's okay. That's okay. So Our Last Night, yeah, they've progressed from, I think when they came in, they were almost kind of teetering to that scene sound, right? They were doing that Big Shoe Energy. Big Shoe Energy's back. Yeah, that's all we're doing. Okay. Anyways, Our Last Night, the album was phenomenal.
I don't know why.
It was again, it's different from their cover songs. It's different from their normal run-of-the-mill, but like you said, the 50-50 blend is what accents their covers, right? They're covering Adele, they're covering Katy Perry, they're covering Beyonce, they're covering Rihanna, they're covering these pop artists, and they're doing so in a 50-50 blend. The screaming, the clean singing, they're doing so phenomenally. Their musicianship is great. They're a band that is... Yeah, they're sticking around. They're a staple. I wouldn't count them out or put them in the category of putting out a bad album. I will say that I wasn't too on board with the covers to begin with, because I think that,
a lot of people weren't.
Remember Still Fly, and when The Devil Wears Prada and A Day to Remember, and all the bands were doing the covers and they were stuck on them.
You know what?
It turned it off for me for the longest time, but Our Last Night being consistent with it in every top 40 single that comes out, they're covering and they're putting their own mix to it, and it sounds phenomenal. Now they've made a name for themselves for it. Their albums are among themselves phenomenal.
Totally, and I have a lot of respect for those guys because they're consistent as hell, and yes. they're definitely one of those bands. I mean, I don't know. I've heard that they just got a house and built out a home studio. They all stay there and they just grind it out, and I love that.
That's what bands need. Buy a house together like Born of Osiris and just keep pumping out records.
I've always tried to make that happen. It's so difficult to get everyone on the same page. It's really difficult, but it's definitely that's how Ghost Town started. We were all just under one roof, and every day we woke up with the same thing in mind, and we grinded it out. And I think that's just the winning formula. If you want it bad enough, you got to hit it hard every day from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed. And those guys definitely had that and have it still.
I was gonna say they're almost. You see a lot of bands or a lot of projects right now coming out because everybody's stuck at home, right? So everybody's doing the webcam footage and they're fucking all writing songs together. Even before now, Our Last Night was probably the band that could do that. You probably could put them at 4 different corners of the globe, connect them all digitally, and that's how tight they are. They'd be able to write an album that's just as good as any album they can put out, and not even be in the same room together, right? I feel like that's where they that consistency comes from. They're constantly putting their energy into their music, constantly writing, constantly having to do that cover process, finding out what works, what doesn't work. They know each other's tendencies, and I think that's what makes the albums flow as well as they do.
Someone just mentioned in the chat, Ghost Town Tuesdays. That was like our same. That was, yeah, we had a similar template. So anyone out there trying to start a band or any kind of creative project or anything at all, that consistency is the key for everything.
There you go. You heard it here first from Kev Ghost himself. Consistency.
I can relate to that. I've been in 2 bands, one with Bryan that he kicked me out of twice, and one with some other guys. It's really difficult to find 3, 4, 5, God forbid, 6 other people that you can get along with and collab and write music together. So if every time you listen to a band and they get any bit of success, you just have to imagine the hard road they went through to gain even that little bit of success, because being in a band is so difficult. You have everyone in your family basically rooting against you, telling you that's not the way to make a living. And I mean, God forbid, it's really not, but you got to bust your ass to get to a point where you can make any money off music. It's difficult, but if that's your passion, if that's what God wants you to do, if that's what your calling in life is, stick to it. You can make it.
It's like with any business, say you're opening a restaurant, like, they usually you're not going to profit for the first couple years. And I feel like a good owner or a good manager, or people who have ownership, make sure they're always the last person to get taken care of to keep things running. And that was the mentality I always tried to keep, but I don't think it was always received that way. But I really, really wanted to make sure that my band, at least my business, was going to stick around 30 years from now. That was always my thought in mind. Actually, that's the one manager that we chose out of the people that we interviewed. That's how I knew I wanted him to be my manager. He said the one thing he said that no one else said was, I want to make sure you guys are a band 30 years from now. And I was like, that guy.
That's how you know he gives a shit. That's what you need. Someone that cares about you, your well-being, and your future.
Yeah. Don't let my ADD pull us too off track.
Oh, no, it totally is, but it's fine. The next album we're going to review is Boston Manor Glue. I'm going to have to refer to my notes because sadly this was a record I didn't fucking like. It's really hard for me personally to judge this record because I have a certain standard of what pop punk should sound like, and I'm not the biggest pop punk fan in the world. You have a few records on here that sound aggressive where the vocals have distortion, and then the rest of the album sounds passive aggressive. I know Bryan liked it. I didn't like it. I want to like it. I like UK bands. I'm partial to them. I think the UK scene, it blows up certain times. It's underrated all the other times.
I love the UK scene, man.
So much good talent out of there.
I feel like
I know Boston Manor's put out good stuff before. I just don't feel like Glue is the album that did it for me. Sorry.
I heard I did hear their single that's being pushed. It was pretty freaking pop, dude. It was good. I liked it. Actually,
I think it's classic Boston Manor. I don't think you're getting anything different from this album. What I think you are getting is you're getting a little bit more complex writing in terms of the lyrics. I think you're getting a little bit more of a heartfelt message, but I don't think it deviates from what they've done in the past or changes what their future sound is gonna be. You look at bands like maybe 100, their counterparts, or bands that maybe start off on that heavier side and then go towards that softer decline and and maybe get, you know, they get kind of soft, and it shows, right? But this album, it was a great album. It's, you know, you could play this with any song off of their previous albums, whether it be Hate You, Burn You Up, any song that's gonna really give you anything that's gonna give you that energy that they bring. It's a classic. Same thing they've
I
done.
definitely
I don't know why you don't like
a
it.
little bit more.
Yeah.
The first time I heard Boston Manor, I was like, "Who's Boston?"
The entire that entire like UK stretch of bands has that sound too. They've got the sound that doesn't necessarily need to progress. There's nothing that's going to progress with that pop punk style. When was the last time you heard a pop punk band do anything that was outside of like pop punk? Right?
You know,
You're not going to get anything that changes. You might get aggressive, soft, but you're
I'll
always
agree to
gonna
that.
get that blend.
It was
right?
a different style pop punk record. It definitely is. But
The
when I
half
think
and
pop
half you're
punk,
talking about, yes, it does have like two different vibes for sure, Yes.
when I think pop punk, I'm thinking Florida bands, Newfound Glory, kind of. I'm not, like I said, I'm not the biggest pop punk fan, but personally, there are some Wonder Years records that rank very, very high on the record. I found them to be incredible, but I don't get that vibe from this band. It's different, and that's good for a lot of people, but it's not for me.
Makes sense.
Shouts to who, where'd it go? They said honesty is a lost art. We are definitely 100% honest here. Shouts to Trayvon Harris. We actually reviewed Dance Gavin Dance's record on the last episode 3. And there's going to be plenty of Dance Gavin Dance stories, videos, and content coming out soon. You can also check out old interviews with them on our YouTube page. What is the next? Kevin, did you listen to that record at all? It's okay if you didn't.
Which one? Sorry.
Boston Manor.
No, I've just heard the single off the album.
No worries. I reviewed 3 EDM records that I'm going to breeze through fairly quickly. Bassnectar, the Lockdown mixtapes. It's not necessarily a full-on album. It's just something that they put together as part of being locked down in isolation, quarantined, whatever. There's some mix-ups, some mashups with songs from 50 Cent, from Jeremiah, from other artists. It didn't have the grooviness and the bass that I desired. I mean, it's still cool. It's not bad in any sense, but it didn't have much substance for a second listen through. The next one is Dixon, a German DJ that I'm a big fan of. He was featured in Grand Theft Auto 5, so I listen to him a lot because I play that game all the time. Shouts to 86 Ounces in a Duffel Bag Gang. What's going on here? Dixon was dope. I thought it was better than the Bassnectar release. But if you're looking for your fix of EDM for the week, it is going to be the 4-track EP from Modestep, the remixes EP. It has all the womps and wobbles that you could ever desire. That's where I found the real grooviness. Modestep more than makes up for where dubstep fans, what they desire. It's loud, in your face. It's chock full of womps the same way that Raisin Bran is full of 2 scoops of raisin.
I did listen to Bassnectar. I did enjoy it. I got to give a shout out to Havoc, even though you don't want to talk about it. I felt like Havoc was a 1990s thrash metal band. Little did I come to find out they started in 2009. Their album is actually really good. Check it out. It's called 5.
That's almost 2 decades off.
Yeah. It's called 5. It's their 5th release. Go check it out. I listened to Little Baby. It was a re-release, a deluxe version of his previous drop that he did, but it's still good. It's
love
still good. Yeah.
that record.
It's
if you
good.
like hip hop, if you like trap, if you like feeling like a baller, if you like bass, get the Little Baby Deluxe Edition on iTunes. It comes with some music videos. That shit is dope.
You talked about it, and I didn't give it any hype. I listened to it. I'm into it. And then my other shout out is going to be Neff the Pharaoh. He released a new album as well. I'm a huge Neff fan, so I had to give him a shout out. My number one for sure was Our Last Night for this week, by the way.
Neff the Pharaoh is from the town I was born in, Vallejo, California. Shouts to the 707. I really dug that Neff the Pharaoh release. It's when you listen to West Coast artists like that, you're gonna notice the real West Coast artists enunciate their R's. That is a low-key appreciation I have
Yes.
Yeah, Vince Staples does
Vince
it
Staples,
too.
his O album that he dropped is a straight West Coast hip hop album. Like that is the most raw, like that sound when it came out, I was like, holy shit. That's like his, and he talked about it, of course, in every song, right? Long Beach. That's just what it is, and like yeah, it was great.
When you enunciate your R's, I know you're a West Coast
Royal,
artist.
yes.
So when I heard Wes Khalifa enunciate his R's for the first time, I thought he was a West Coast artist. I did not know he was from Pittsburgh. Shouts to Sarah Clay, who mentioned Doja Cat. I have the biggest crush on Doja Cat. Oh my God. She's beautiful. Her songs are awesome. Her music videos are even better. She is so damn gorgeous. She's 24. I would wife her up in a second. I'm glad you mentioned that because that was someone I wanted to bring up. I didn't get exposed to Doja Cat on time like I should have been, but damn, I loved her.
You know what? My boy Late Bloomer has a track with Doja on it.
Oh my God, I love her. Have you heard that Moo song?
Of course. That's like the one that everyone's heard, right?
Okay, so I'm not 22, so I didn't hear that when it came out. I kind of ignored that shit. Someone showed it to me last night, and I fell in love with it. I went and downloaded her discography. I love her. She is amazing. She's, oh my God. I gotta shut up because I'm gonna keep like eye googling over her. She is so amazing. Bitch, I'm a cow. Moo.
Shout out to Late Bloomer. If you guys like Doja, go check out my boy Late Bloomer with his track featuring Miss Cat.
Yeah, Doja Cat. She's amazing. I'll review her albums at a later time because I'm too in love with her right now to give you a honest opinion. I'd love anything she put out if it was terrible. Bryan, how did you feel about the surprise Drake EP, the Dark Lane demo tape?
So you know me, I'm a sucker for a Drake drop, right? So I heard and I was like, all right, well, that's what I'm gonna listen to on my way to work. I listened to it and I was underwhelmed. I expected something a little bit more aggressive. Normally from Drake's mixtapes, that's when you do see his aggressive side. That's when you see him snap back. That's when you'll see him, drop a diss track or something. I didn't felt like we got that to the fullest extent. Yeah, there's a couple shots on the album, but it's nothing that really stands out. I felt that his freestyle that he throws in the middle sounded like the freestyle of the barbershop scene from the Chappelle show when he's like, boop, pow, surprise. And everybody's like, oh. But then when they did the B take, Chappelle was like, yo, he rhymed the same sentence twice. I don't know why people were like all hyped on it. He hyped himself up. That's kind of the vibe I got from the freestyle. He just released whatever his last track that he released, once he released the photos of his baby mama and his kid and, that whole thing in the house. And he's obviously, when Drake drops an album, it doesn't just come with a Drake drop. It comes with some controversy. It comes with some public image. It comes with some PR moves. It comes with some notoriety. That's what we're getting. We're getting the Drake train. And, hey, people are enjoying it. He's on the Rap Caviar cover. He's on the cover of everything else.
Trent in the chat says that they were leaks.
Leaks of the Drake record?
They were all leaks like previously. I don't know what he's referring to, but they're demos. They are
I'm just wondering if that's true.
It was a surprise EP.
Found out it dropped today. Yeah, I found out.
Double XL reported it within like a few hours of it dropping, so I don't think there was any big leaks.
You know what I've seen artists do, like to like kind of save themselves, is they'll like release early, or I don't know. I'm kind of curious now whether or not it was a leak and they called it a mixtape and used that to promote the upcoming. Is there something else coming out after that or what?
So honestly, I think this Drake Dark Lane demo tape was just a bunch of records that he didn't release before. Yeah. Are you guys ready? Okay. I'm about to eviscerate this record.
It didn't seem like anything special.
Let's hear it, Matt. Let's hear it.
Let's go.
What can I say about this Drake record that hasn't already been said about Chernobyl? What a fucking total meltdown of emotion, lacking any comprehensive rapping skill. Jesus fucking Christ, Drake. Can you cry anymore? Drake isn't a spitter, and he couldn't rap his way out of a wet paper bag. Just for reference, the bag is wet because he's been crying in it.
Oh.
And he's crying because Nicki Minaj and Rihanna still don't want him, and they're still dodging his calls. Drake is the annoying ex-boyfriend who is still in your DMs even after marrying your best friend and has 3 kids with her.
Oh, no.
That's what the Drake record did to me. Drake is to rap music what global warming is to the earth, minus the hotness. Drake is to rap music what Tommy Wiseau is to movies. A fucking joke.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
My God.
Tory Lanez bodied your entire career off any album. Pick one. Just pick one. You can borrow my hard drive and pick one. Tory Lanez does Drake better than Drake does Drake, and that's a fact.
Wow.
Sorry, not sorry. Drake is softer than fabric softener.
I feel so bad for Meek Mill right now because Drake murdered Meek Mill, so I feel so bad.
R.I.P. Meek Mill's entire career. I haven't checked for you since 2014. Drake is softer than fabric softener. Matter of fact, this episode is brought to you by Snuggle Fabric Softener. The Snuggle Bear is dropping a mixtape soon, and it's going to be harder than this Drake garbage he released last night. Don't wait up till midnight.
We just got word that Drake has requested his wheelchair from Tekashi back, so there's that to report on.
Drake is to rap what Kim Jong-un is to nuclear weapons. Fucking terrible.
And dead.
Oh, no, he came back today, so we don't need to do that tribute episode now. Yeah, not holding back. Drake is terrible. If he put out a good record tomorrow, I would let you know. Because I know hip-hop. I've actually listened to hip-hop more than I've listened to metalcore, deathcore, electronica, all that shit.
True.
So I know what's what, even though skin color. The Drake record's terrible. There's no way around it. These are all B-sides that should have never been released.
Okay. Message received.
Has it?
Because I could keep going.
Let me just
that
say
was page one.
Let me just say,
two-page dissertation.
I have a lot of respect for how honest you are, my friend.
I'm never gonna lie to the people that are nice enough to tune in to this beautiful stream.
And that's why I will continue to watch, because I never know what the fuck you're gonna say next, and I love that.
The record's terrible, okay? Some rappers like to put out B-sides, mixtapes. This should have been a deluxe edition. This should have been a deluxe edition of his shit record he put out a year ago, where it was just all B-sides and remixes. I mean, shit, is it that big of a deal for Drake to go pay a hot producer, busting on a track, bitch? Is it too hard for him to pay a good producer to remix these shit songs? They are terrible. This is the absolute worst Drake release among the worst Drake releases.
Isn't it like
stack them all up and it's still terrible? Like, there's a TP shortage. I don't even have enough toilet paper for the amount I want to shit on him. God.
Oh my gosh.
I'm out of liquor too.
Cut him off.
Cut my mic off.
Oh, next record.
Shit. Okay, no, that's it. It's
that
done and over with. It's done, buried.
I mean, I could review a Word Alive record, but let's be honest, Telly's not that good on that record. So
hey, maybe Drake's clone is, the one responsible for this.
Kim Jong-un has clones. I don't think Drake has a clone, because Drake literally has the time to sit outside Rihanna's house waiting for her to go check her mail.
Let's not forget that he also text messaged or slid into the DMs of Billie Eilish, who was
underage.
Yeah.
And that was the second underage girl that we publicly know of that he slid into the DMs of.
Is it ironic that the two hottest things...
That is freaking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few guys have slid into Billie Eilish DMs. It really pays to Wikipedia your crush before you look her up. That's why I know Doja Cat is 24 years old.
Maybe he just wanted a feature, dude.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. What was she going to do? Whisper on his song?
Oh, my God. I don't want to get you going on another rant, dude. I like Billie Eilish's music. It's sick.
I'm a supporter. I'm a supporter.
I'm almost like 100%.
I like her.
Like most people in this chat.
I'm a Billie Eilish fan. Hands up for Billie Eilish.
I'm in the minority. of not liking Billie Eilish. That doesn't mean that I won't listen to every record she puts out. I'm honestly waiting for the moment she has a record that impresses me. So far, the only Billie Eilish record I like is You Should See Me in a Crown. It's a hot beat, it's a hot hook. I just hate the verses. Why does she have to whisper during the verses? Why can't she? You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it. If Billie Eilish just straight up dropped a hot 16, I would be a total fan. If she just dropped a dope ass record where she spit a rap, I would be 100% fan. I'd come on this podcast and apologize for all the shit I talked. I'm sorry.
All
Say
right,
it now.
that's fair. I mean,
haven't even gone that
I
hard.
can see that happening. I can see her evolving into that.
I've only gone hard on the Common Chaos podcast when I asked people if they believed in Billie Eilish as if she was a ghost, because I didn't. So moving on.
Shout out.
Really right if she was a ghost. I'd be down. That'd be cool.
I wouldn't be shocked in the least if Billie Eilish was a Ghost Town fan and listened to her for years. I'm sorry to all the fans that are listening right now that like Billie Eilish. I'm sorry I offended you. I can only be honest with you. If I was lying, I would be struck by lightning right now.
It's okay. It's just a flow over from the Drake supporters that are siphoning out, so it's all right.
That's why we lost 37 viewers, because they all like Drake.
Hey, but our buy-in from the audience went up that much more because we're honest, we have integrity, and we deliver it straight, people.
Hey guys, I still have an announcement. So whoever stuck it out this long.
Are we
And
getting
if you
to it?
stuck it out this long through all the horrible shit, I say more props to you, because
Hey,
you are
Matt.
the number one ghost.
Give me a 5-minute warning so I can post it and do all that.
Oh, I will, baby. Right now, we're going to move into the Kev Ghost interview section of the podcast. So I'm sure everyone's excited for this except Kevin.
I thought we were like about to. Okay, let's do this.
So there's a new Kev Ghost single. I've bootlegged it and sold it around my town for $5 a CD, because apparently you can still do that. Yeah, straight no chaser. You're not lying. And Kev Ghost just straight walked
Hi,
away.
awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Good podcast. Woo, we're doing so good. Kev Ghost has a new single. It does me an injustice that I haven't listened to it yet, but it's a little different when you've known the guy for 15 years and he tells you, hey, I put out a new single, but there's also a new West Side Gun record on iTunes.
Oh, loyalty runs deep. Does it not? Does it not?
Loyalty
Boom,
is
boom,
only
boom, boom,
skin
boom.
deep.
Boom, 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 boom.
Love you, Matt. Love you, Bryan.
Dang, start cutting.
So
Love you,
what
man.
is the new Kev Ghost single, and what is it about?
Someone's calling me.
Oh wow, you're just gonna ignore me. Fuck yeah, good podcast, bro. Thanks for being my guest, bro. You've been great. I'm just gonna go ahead and take another phone call from my shoe phone.
Hello?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it was me, dude. I was calling you just to fuck
So-
with you.
All right,
Yeah.
no, for real though, because
Oh, you already hung up on me, dick.
I have no idea what's going on. No,
Hour and a half,
we have
so-
to. You guys, we're
You
live.
can't answer
We're
phone
live.
calls on
We're live.
Etnies, bro.
all right, so Etnies. So yeah, I finally put out my first Kev Ghost single. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. So yeah, I mean, basically, what do you want to know?
I want to know what the hell it's about, because I haven't listened to it yet. Because if you tell me what it's about, and then when I hear it, I'll be like, oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
your own meaning behind the song, but all right. Basically,
You don't want me to do that.
when I went to rehab last year, I had a lot of free time on my hands. It was kind of like quarantine, except you don't get a phone, you don't get the internet, and you're not allowed to make eye contact with the opposite sex. Anyway, that's
Deep.
How the hell
Deep.
did you get
Deep.
How
was
do you get
dope.
by doing that? You
That
can't
was
make
dope.
eye contact with a female? Like,
That was dope.
I
Tell us
swear
more.
to God. One
Tell us
time,
more.
One time I looked at a girl and she smiled, and I 5 minutes later they called me into an office and they're like, "What?" I was like, "What did I do?" And they're like, "You made
What?
eye contact. You can't engage." And I was like, "I can't help it when people smile." Like,
This is rehab. I just have to go to rehab to get this. That's all I got to do is go to rehab. You said, right? Okay, sign me up.
anyway, no, they were awesome. They were awesome. No, so basically, I had kind of some clarity for the first time in a long time when I went in there. And it was really almost frustrating how much like emotion and just like lyrical inspiration just flowed out. It was so much. I wasn't allowed to have any like electronic devices, so I couldn't even record my ideas. I tried to have someone send me like a digital recorder, but they wouldn't let me have it. So I literally just had to memorize like all the melodies and all the song ideas that I had. Obviously, I could write down the lyrics. So yeah, that's where the lyrics for "Like I Want to Die" came from.
I'm not gonna ask you what that song's about.
I mean, it's about a few different things. Yeah.
Oh man.
How
Hey,
difficult was it for you to open up about that sort of stuff? Because that's not typically a subject matter that bands want to talk about. I personally know a lot of bands who keep that shit hidden.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just, I'm at this point in my life where I just want to be honest, dude. You know, I want to. I don't know, dude. It's so hard to put into words. Like with Ghost Town, I was very honest in Ghost Town in a lot of songs, but at the same time, it's like we're Ghost Town is a conceptual band, and I got to write really fun stories and inject like real life situations and real things that I've been through throughout these stories, and kind of use like metaphors as a way to like continue on with this like fictional world almost. And it was cool because it created an escape. Like it was a completely different world when you put headphones on and you could hear something different every single listen. And that's what I love about Ghost Town. But with the Kev Ghost stuff, I feel like I just kind of deprived myself a little bit from. It's almost like therapy. It's almost like a therapeutic thing for me to just get some of this shit out, get it off my chest. Like, yeah, like I've struggled with drugs and alcohol for almost half of my life now, and it's something that a lot of people didn't know about. Um, Obviously, I don't want to promote drugs or alcohol. I wouldn't, dude. I wouldn't wish an addiction on my worst enemy. It's literally, it destroys families and relationships and careers. But the shitty thing is, sometimes good songs come out of it, I guess.
I can see that. There's been some really good artists in different generations that have put out good material while under the influence or coming out from an addiction. I just got to give you props because being in the touring world and being on the inside of things now, there's a lot of bands I witnessed that do drugs for fun and do drugs to get by and do drugs to get through a tour.
Dude,
I never saw that with you. I honestly, I didn't know things that were going on, but I got to give you all the props in the world for seeking the proper help, because that's the only solution to being an addict is you go to rehab.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't do drugs on tour because it is so freaking hard to keep a drug addiction on the road. Unless you have like
I would have seen it.
Unless you have a drug dealer in every city, like, or you take like whatever with you, like that's just stupid. So I definitely used alcohol to cope, you know. I prided myself on not drinking until after I performed, which was great when we were the opening band. It was like, oh shit, no. No, I prided myself on not drinking until after the shows. That, I think, for every tour, so for like 4.5 years, that was my routine. But you better believe the second I got off stage, I straight to the bottle, dude. No cup, whatever. I thought it was, I justified it like, oh, like this is, I'm a singer in a band and like I can get away, like this is fine, like this is part of the lifestyle, and that's a horrible justification to continue to slowly poison yourself. But yeah, the last couple tours, I did start to drink a little bit before the show. I do like a shot or two, and I thought it was loosening me up. There was a few times, like if I accidentally didn't eat, I would drink take a few shots before the show, and oops, I'm like kind of almost drunk. And the worst part about being drunk on stage as a vocalist is like sometimes you'll like forget lyrics or something, and it's kind of
Oh my God.
Yeah, but maybe I always had this theory, like whoever you see doing this the most,
Oh my God.
maybe they just had a little too much to no,
I think you just made everyone reevaluate every Warped Tour and concert they've ever been to.
Every frontman.
No, but so after my last tour, the last tour I went on, yeah, I don't know, man. Like that's when things got, I guess you can say the last tour I did with Ghost Town, right after that is where I kind of hit my bottom. Because, they say that every person has to hit a bottom to like actually and be willing, to get help.
You got to hit rock bottom to know the position you're in, because at least when you hit the bottom, you know where you're at. You're at Schitt's Creek. You're up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. You know you're at your worst, and that's when you can either continue doing bad shit or decide to grab a hold of that ladder and crawl out. What was rock bottom for you?
So the last Ghost Town tour we did, it was the first tour I ever did by myself. There was no original Ghost Town members. I was the only original Ghost Town member. And I think that like kind of fucked with my head a little bit more than I thought it did. I didn't have my brothers there, I didn't have that support. I had some great people. I was on tour with some great people in my crew. Definitely not discrediting anyone that was on that tour with me, but yeah, it was on paper that was a great tour. 28 out of the 34 shows sold out. The meet and greets were incredible. And the funny thing is, I wasn't drinking for 3 months before that tour, and then the day before we left, with no thought at all in mind, I just grabbed a bottle of vodka and just took a fat swig, and I was like, I guess I'm drinking on this tour.
You're on the wagon again. Literally,
like it's almost like a sober blackout moment. That's the only way I can describe it. But yeah, man, there's so many great things you can come up with to justify drinking or using drugs. But at the end of the day, dude, like if you're using it to try and make yourself feel better, it is the most temporary thing ever. And in the end, it only makes things worse.
Makes you feel worse afterwards.
It makes you feel worse afterwards. I was constantly, like every morning when I'd wake up, I drank a gallon of water every day. And I think I would always feel better right before I went on stage. I'd, do my warm-ups and I'd feel better like right before I hit the stage and then right after. But anyway, my bottom, after that tour, there was like some drama on that tour, the very, very fucking last show. Of course, of all shows, the very last show.
I saw that online. I think it was kind of bullshit.
There's like 10 different stories, right?
Yeah, there was.
So I'm not going to name any names because, shit happens, right? But the last show of that tour was crazy. Basically, I'm not a violent person at all. I don't resort to violence unless I'm protecting someone who I love, and they're being, you know, attacked or something, like, of course, like, I'm going to defend someone who I love, or an innocent person even. But yeah, basically someone threw something in my face. I was trying to have a really civilized conversation, and someone threw something in my face, someone that was actually working for me. And it felt like it was like the equivalent of someone like spitting in my face. It was like, it felt really fucking like just super disrespectful. And Matt, your mic is muted.
Yeah,
I'm aware, buddy. I'm laying out for you to tell the story. Just keep on going. I don't want everyone to hear I'm typing to the fans right now.
Someone threw something in my face, and I fucking snapped, dude. And this has happened to me maybe 1 or 2 times in my entire life. I just lost it, and it was someone who, like, I really went out of my way to make sure that they were comfortable this whole tour. Gave them a birthday bonus, bought him a new phone, would pay him early if you needed it. I really felt like I went out of my way for this person. So for them to do this on the very last show, I lost it, and we got into a scuffle. My tour manager walked in and sees just me and this guy going at it, and he, like, you know, gets in, like, trying to, like, stop it and, like, get him off of me. And then the other tour manager walks in, and this is a guy that he knows that did this to me. And so what he thought he saw in his head was, he thought he saw me and my tour manager beating this guy up. But he had just walked. It was all over the place. It was like, yeah, I'm assuming that that's what he thought. So he grabbed me. He's a big guy. The other TM grabbed me. My arms were locked, and the dude who I was, like, scuffling with just punched me right in the fucking square in the face. And my arms were, like, held. And I was saying stuff like, all right, I'm done, before he did that. And he just, boom, right in my face. And I was just quiet, and I was just like, all right, dude.
How can anyone hit you?
All right.
You, of all people.
I was just like, the whole thing was over money, because he, for some reason, thought he wasn't going to get paid. Literally, I never said that. And so after all that, some people started throwing our merch out in the gutter, like, and they were like, don't pay Ghost Town. And it wasn't the venue doing that, it was someone else. I don't name names, but anyway, some of our merchandise got ruined. I was like, you know what, I just want to go home. Like, I was exhausted. I just wanted to go home. And funny enough, I mean, I paid the guy still, because I wanted to be the bigger person. I paid him that night, right there in person. I walked up to him, paid him. I was like, I was never not going to pay you. I don't know why the fuck. Anyway, so the cops got called for that. And then the singer on stage for the headline band got arrested. But the cops were called because of the fight. And then but the singer who got arrested had no idea what was going on. He threw a mic on stage, and I guess the venue was kind of like over the whole tour package at that point.
Jesus, that sounds like so
imagine.
much drama.
I would imagine.
I feel so bad for
I'm
everyone
over
on
the whole
that
tour
tour.
package at this point. To be
At this point, I'm just like, pack up our stuff. Like, let's get the fuck out of here. I want to go home.
Oh no!
It's the last show.
Oh, no.
And then everyone was like, you're the reason so-and-so got arrested, because they called the cops because of you. You should be arrested. And I was like, oh my God, like, this is like a nightmare. So anyway, everyone was just confused. You know, if everyone had just calmed down and kind of talked it out, like it would have been fine. But everyone was just making rash decisions. And you know what? I take responsibility for snapping. I didn't have to do that, but I just getting something thrown in my face when I'm a foot away from someone. I was kneeling down, trying to be like really chill about talking to him and like trying to like talk it out. That's usually how I try and resolve problems. And I don't know what came over me. I just could not believe that he threw what he threw in my face. Should I say what he threw in my, should I say what he threw in my face?
Yeah, I was wondering why
Say
we
it, yeah,
alluding.
say
What
it,
is it?
say
What's
it,
up?
do it.
He threw like
Can we guess? Can we guess?
guess.
I'm gonna say drugs.
No.
I was gonna say Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Fuck, that'd be tight. If someone threw Yu-Gi-Oh cards in my face, I'd be like, sick.
Are we battling? Are we battling?
Yeah.
Are we battling?
Duel.
He threw. I know, and this is actually now. This isn't gonna sound as crazy or as bad or anything.
The Yu-Gi-Oh fucking killed it. I knew it. I knew
No,
it. Goddamn
sorry.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
He threw a wad of like hundreds of dollars just right in my face. It was all like the merch money.
Oh,
or whatever.
it was that disrespect shit. Okay.
He threw it
okay.
and it just went all over the place.
It was that flex.
And I was just like, and I just snapped.
Fair.
It was a really, really interesting scene when those dudes walked in and two dudes are fighting and there's just money all over the place.
Oh,
Yeah.
bad look.
Hey,
Yeah, I mean there was someone in the room. There was like a witness who saw the whole thing go down, so I didn't fucking sound crazy. Anyway, we left, and actually I made up with the dude. We talked it out. We're cool now.
love and
It
friendship, guys.
happened.
Love solves all.
We didn't make up right away though. I went home and I
Hey,
was like,
it's okay.
oh my God,
It's okay.
like fuck this, like you know, that everything kind of just starts to feel like it's caving in on you when you have those moments. Right after that, my girlfriend broke up with me like one day later.
Ugh, not good.
And then yeah. What else?
Yeah, absent-minded as fuck.
Someone who got sent home on that, or who went home on that tour early, like they're like, I heard what you did, and I was just like, what did I do? And like before I could reply, they just blocked me. So I was like, did I just lose like a 5-year friendship over? And I didn't even get to explain what happened. So what ended up happening is there was security footage of the whole thing that went down. And after the security footage was seen, the venue emailed us and apologized to us. So everything got straightened out in the end, but it was just like I got home and I think I just kind of went on a little downward spiral because, yeah, number one, I'm not a violent person. I just felt really alone and like you know, I think that's when I hit bottom. And then, you know, I hate to say it, but like this downward spiral lasted 2 or 3 months. And I thought that it was a good idea to try and check out. And so that was the first time I actually ever tried to kill myself. And then so it was a pretty messy scene. And then it was right after that I was like, fuck, I don't know how I got to this place, but I need to get out of here. And I called a buddy of mine who works in the music industry, who's sober. And he was like, I can get you in a bed in 12 hours. And I was like, I will take it. I'm fucking desperate to get help. And so, yeah. So that was crazy.
That's powerful, Kevin. You know, there's something that it takes some tenacity to admit to yourself that you got a problem like that. You know, admit to yourself that you're dealing with some shit. And I think that everybody here is proud of you, right? I think, you know, it's something that a lot of people deal with, and it seems to be one of those like make or break things, right? You either go in and fall back out, or you go in and you succeed. And as Matt was saying, we all got people that get, you know, affected by this, and to know that you were going through this and you seeked help and you're on that road, man. That's a big step. So, you know, I can see it. I can see that you're riding on it. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like, think about the progress you've made, man. Think about the commitments you've made, you know, to yourself and to whoever else. And that's all you got to do, man. You got to follow through. And so I have this, right? You just explained to us kind of this graphic scene of how a tour ended for you, right? And how you legitimately can hit a rock bottom place. You can hit a place that's low enough to where you contemplate ending it, right? It's hit you and it's devastated you so hard that you contemplate not going on, and you're reaching limits. And for those of us that maybe don't experience that, or for the people out there that don't know what that's like, it can be crippling to a degree, and it's kind of hard to explain that, right? So now that you're seeking that help, now that you're going that extra step and you've reached out for help and you've found it, one of the steps in that process is that self-realization, right?
Totally,
at
man.
least my family's been down that road as well, right? And me being associated, classes, things like that, it's a very structured, rigid process you have to follow, and they make sure that this self-realization piece is heavy, right? Knowing that your lifestyle, you being a musician, you being a very good musician, a very well-respected musician, knowing that you were on your way to being a musician, that lifestyle was your lifestyle to live, right? Knowing that in a way enabled your problems. How did that affect you? Did you ever contemplate maybe stopping music? Did you ever contemplate going another route? Because once you realize that, then it becomes the heavier crown, you know? So
You know what? I never contemplated stopping music. Um, it's like it's easy. You want to blame it on something, you know? It's so easy to want to like to have you need. It's like you almost feel like you need a reason for all this. Like maybe it's my ADD, maybe it's my anxiety, maybe it's my depression, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Like you want to blame it on something, and it's just like I had to just stop doing that. I had to just, you know, I had to stop doing that, and I just I'm not even kidding, man. When I reached out to my friend, and shout out to fucking Music Cares and Rock to Recovery.
I put that in the chat. Music Cares, amazing program.
Yeah, because
I know the good they do.
They actually they were like on the phone with me like so quick, and there's so many other places and organizations like that. But like, and it sounds so cheesy to say, and we hear it all the time, but like when you step out of that, like when you ask for help, it's like, and you're around other people who've been through the same shit you've been through. It's just, dude, I can't even tell you. I went from feeling so alone that I wanted to cease to exist to being like, holy shit, like there's, you know, people, like, I don't know, dude.
it's a support system is what it is. The support system
huge.
is what,
and it's a lifelong journey, man. And like, look, like shit happens. Like that was my second time going to rehab. Honestly, I went when I was 20 years old, you know, and within that first stint of clarity in my life, I started Ghost Town, and it just goes to show that when you're clear-headed and you make the right decisions for yourself, you're literally just allowing good things to happen in your life. And it's funny because that all happened so quickly that after the first time I got sober, and the second time around, I felt like, you know, I was like, well, like a bunch of good shit's not happening. Like, come on, universe, where are you at? You know? But it's funny because a lot of great stuff's happening right now, and it's like you gotta wait. You know, sometimes it happens right away. Sometimes it happens 6 months later. Sometimes it happens a year later. But also, it's just like, are you listening? Sometimes it's like, man, am I really listening? Because when you start listening, you start to see how many great things you actually have in your life, you know? And
yes. Powerful, man. Powerful.
Yeah, dude, like within the last couple of days, a lot of really great things have happened. Like It's looking like I might have just found a manager for Kev Ghost stuff, and I've been really patient with that. You know, it's overwhelming having to facilitate all this stuff on my own. And you know, when you're in a band, you have all your boys, you know, and you're all there to support each other, keep each other accountable. And so I just, you know, I've been patient, and good things are really starting to happen. Finally, starting to get music out again after a couple of years, and I want to say it right now. Can I say it, Matt?
Say what you want, brother.
Okay, guys, I have a song coming out next Friday. So a lot of great stuff happening. That's the announcement. I have a song coming out next Friday with my boy Nightshade. And yeah, I'm really stoked about it. So yeah.
Awesome,
I'm stoked for the song. I'm glad that you're able to pour your heart out. I think the fans here really, really appreciate this. I've seen a couple that said that they feel less alone now. I think you talking about your addiction problems has really opened up a new world that people can understand what's been going on, and they can see what's real in this world. If you struggle with addiction, it's nothing to be ashamed of. You need help. We all need help once in a while, whether it's as simple as gas money to get somewhere, or if you need to go to rehab to get that help. Music Cares, I thought, was really cool, because they do a program that's specialized towards musicians, so they know what to speak to.
Musicians and like anyone who works in the music industry.
One of the
things I wanted. I'm sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that, you know, we're fortunate to have Music Cares as a company, and I remember To Write Love on Her Arms, right, with the suicide help back in the day. I remember those types of groups. And it's important because, again, the lifestyle inhibits that, right? The lifestyle enables you to go out there, have a good time, drinks or comps. Everybody's got something. You're surrounded by it. And you mentioned it. When you're in a band, you're there with your boys, your friends, your family at times. They're there to hold you accountable, but everybody's got pitfalls, man. Everybody's got this high and this low, and it takes that digging deep to figure that out, man. So it's powerful, dude. And those programs are phenomenal.
It's thank you, man. Yeah, it's crazy. I feel it feels really good to just tell that. I mean, I tell that story and just,
hey, proud of you, man.
You know, I'm almost, when I think back to it now, I'm, you know, especially because no one got hurt. Like I can say, like, I'm happy that fucking happened. Like, I'm happy that, like, you know, I really do believe that when it feels like bad shit happens, I feel like that's the universe's way, or a higher power's way, of taking you and forcing you on the correct course. Like, you've strayed the path, and like, this is the universe's way of just like putting you right back on that right path. And so,
preach, dude, preach.
When I think about shit like that, it just like, it makes me rethink, you know, when bad things happen, it's like, okay, what, you know, what am I supposed to be doing? Because it's not this, you know? So I just try and stay positive when it comes to bad shit happening. So
seeing all the comments in the chat and knowing that we haven't had a single negative comment from the get-go just means that we have big time energy in here. The three of us love each other really a lot. I mean, dude, I've known you guys forever. I've known Bryan since high school. I've known Kevin since just graduating high school. I'm really proud of you to speak about this openly. I always wondered when that time would come, because although I wasn't led on to how bad it was at times, I mean, we haven't been in the same state for a while now. Like you said, you weren't doing this on tour, so I never witnessed anything then. There was a time spending the night at your house, and I hope you don't mind me bringing this up. I spent the night at your house. In the middle of the night, you woke up from a nightmare, and you told me the devil himself was attacking you. You were red in the face. You were crying. You were upset. I could tell something was in your dream haunting you, and I felt powerless at the time to help you, because I couldn't go in your nightmare and stop the shit for you. but you told me the devil was chasing you. Like, you didn't say a monster. It wasn't Freddy Krueger. It was the devil. And that really woke me up to the problems that you had at the time. And I've definitely paid attention since then, and I've always been there for you. I think all your fans, especially those in this chat, every single one of them cares about you, man. We only want to see you succeed.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, that's crazy that you bring that up, that story. That's happened to me like 3 or 4 times in my life. And I don't know if,
It's rough. It's rough. It's hard to talk about.
I believe in supernatural stuff like that, but like I definitely do. And I've had some pretty crazy experiences, even sober. Yes. Yeah, dude. I guess I like yell in my sleep sometimes too. Pretty like and then
you were saying shit, but I couldn't comprehend it. But you were basically calling for help.
You know what's funny? I saw Chris Ryan in the chat. Is Chris Ryan in here?
I see him.
Here. He's saying
it happened
up.
once when I was living with you. An old witch was hanging over you. He says,
"Bro, it happened." Chris was staying with me in my room. He was sleeping on the floor, and I was sleeping in my bed. And that was one of those moments, dude. For some reason, every time I scream 3 times, and it's the same exact length of like a yell. It's like a ah ah ah. It's like crazy. I don't know. I never thought I'd be fucking telling anyone this.
Sounds like a beautiful sample for a
song. Chris Ryan's in this chat. What's up, Chris? Hope you're doing well, dude.
Shout out Chris Ryan.
Chris Ryan, Matt, you experienced that. Chris Ryan experienced that. Literally, what I saw. I don't really remember the one with you, Matt. Like, I must have conveniently blocked that one out, but with Chris, I'll never forget it. I had a dream that I was laying in my bed, in my bedroom, in the exact same pose that I was actually laying in real life. Guess it was a dream. I don't know. It felt like a dream.
Dreamception.
Very, very vivid. And I saw this like old hag flying towards me, no limbs, super decrepit looking, flying at me. And in the dream, she was like flying at me in my bed. I'm laying down. And as I sat up, I actually also sat up in real life. And I opened my eyes. And when I opened my eyes, I still saw the old hag. And she flew right through me.
What the fuck?
And scared the fucking shit out of me. I was very startled. I kid you not. I made fucking Chris Ryan. I was like, bro, that was tripping. Dude, everyone in the whole apartment, it was the first Ghost Town apartment. Everyone in the whole apartment was like, what the fuck? Like, they thought like someone was being murdered or something. And I was like, Chris, like, bro, just there's plenty of room in my bed. Like, just come sleep in my bed with me, dude, because I'm terrified right now.
Cuddles make it go away, man.
I love the paranormal. Like, I've had really great experiences too. But some of these, man, this shit's real, I think. I mean, call me crazy, but
hey, Ghost Town, come on now. Let's be real.
This definitely makes sense with the entire theme of your band and all the shit that's gone on.
A little bit.
When I met you, the first month I met you, I would have never imagined that you would be into dark, spooky shit. I thought I misinterpreted and thought you were the bubblegum perfect pretty boy kid. and it was wrong. There's been plenty of times that I've called you when I'm in a really bad spot, when I'm like, I don't know what to do, whether it be with life or business. And you've always been there for me. So I know the answer to this question for me, but after that big incident, after tour, after you quote tried to kill yourself, were you happy to be alive after all that?
Yeah, dude, I actually felt really strange. I felt almost like I was like, am I supposed to be here right now? It felt, I was like, am I here right now? I felt pretty guilty, you know? seeing my folks, you know, like brought me back to like, wow, like that's pretty fucking, that would have been really fucking selfish if, you know, that worked.
I don't think a lot of people that are feeling those dark kind of thoughts think about how selfish it is. I know when I felt really, really low, the thing that always prevented me from getting to that point was that, yes, it is selfish, and the people that I would hurt if I left, I could never bring myself to that point. And so I think when I hit rock bottom, it was a step above that, and I was able to hit that ladder, crawl out of it, and do something good.
Dude,
That's it's one of the reasons that this podcast has existed in so many different forms, is because it's always been there for me when I felt really low. And I know you were there to witness that a lot of times.
yeah, dude, no, totally. You like, I try and be there for you. You've been there for me. And, you know, it's crazy. It's so weird to feel so alone. You can feel alone when there's a room full of people, man. And it's just something that you can't, it's like, you don't choose. Oh, Bryan just dipped out.
He'll come back. He knows what to do.
Okay. It's like you don't choose to feel that way. Like sometimes it's just overwhelming, man. Like who would want to fucking feel that way, you know? Yeah, I write a lot about this. And in the hopes, you know, that someone out there is gonna, you know, feel what I feel. And also, dude, like I write just to get it out. Like, and I suggest that other people do the same thing, you know, like even if you don't feel like you're a creative person, like just go for it. And some dudes, one of my favorite things to do with a cool writing exercise is I'll just write a story that makes absolutely no freaking sense at all. Like, once upon a time, this guy jumped out of an airplane and he pulled a parachute and then he landed on a beach, and the beach they're having a party, and the party they did and he met this girl and he fell in love with her, and then they got into a Uber, and then the Uber went to the Netflix movie theater, and then at the Netflix movie theater they saw the new premiere. You know, you just keep going. But, dude,
Netflix
kind of crazy. If you keep doing it, you can just literally talk about whatever you want. You can do whatever you want, write whatever you want, say whatever you want. The story can go anywhere.
A free write,
dude. It just like,
Hey, Kev.
it's cool. I don't know.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So, okay, going down the road of sobriety, right? And facing those challenges, how's the writing process being affected? Because like you said, even you've experienced these supernatural things, right? Sober or not sober, right? You have these back and forth experiences. So now that you're going after the sober route, how's the writing coming along? How is the inspiration, the motivation towards
It's
writing
great.
coming along?
Honestly, I've been through enough fucked up shit to last 5 lifetimes, and I am good on that. But you know,
That's great.
no,
Yes.
but it's cool. Like I know like sad songs is like a trendy thing right now or something, I guess. Songs
Just because
about,
it's sad times, but for you
You know
personally,
what?
don't worry about other people.
no,
For you
I just think
personally,
it's sometimes it's silly, you know, but for me, I'm trying to focus on writing songs that aren't necessarily happier songs, but that are just more hopeful, you know?
okay.
I just because right now that's what I feel. I feel a lot of hope, and for the first time in a couple years, I feel like I can kind of see. I feel like I can see the future a little bit, and that's how I felt at the beginning of Ghost Town. Like I felt like I could see where we were going.
The trajectory, right? Or the trajectory, right? You can see kind of where it's headed. Maybe not everything that
That's
happens.
what you want to call it, yeah.
You can see like a trailer. You see a teaser trailer.
Yeah,
you kind
like
of get the gist.
yeah.
You understand?
You can see where you're gonna be almost like in who knows how far down the line it is, but it's like if you can see that for your life and it's a positive thing, hold on to that image and never let it go. And I promise you one day you'll have that deja vu moment of like, this is it. this is that moment that I had. This is that vision that I've been holding on to.
The deja vu.
That's a really, really powerful thing.
I think the writing exercise you were talking about is called a free write. I just want to bring that up because in high school, as dumb as this sounds, in high school, I thought I was going to be a famous rapper one day. And putting together a free write was a way to get out my thoughts without having to structure them straight into a rhyme form, into a song form. I just wrote down things I thought sounded cool, sounded emotional, and you're able to cut out that middleman from your brain to the paper, and you get out some real deep thoughts, and you can form them later if that's your type of thing. If you want to write a song, if you're writing raps, if you're trying to write a paper, it's a good exercise. I also want to thank all the ghosts that have been sticking around because we've gone 2+ hours, the longest podcast we've ever fucking done. And they are the most dedicated fans to be sticking around. Everyone in here loves you. There are so many encouraging words I'm reading in this chat. I've met a lot of positive people that seem to share the same mind frame as us, that if your friends are struggling, you fucking help them. Yep. You can only help people that want to help. There's rare occasions when those people reject it. I know me and Kevin have seen that with some of our other friends. Be there for them. That's all you can do, is be there for them. Get them help. If they don't want the help, they don't want the help. They're on a bad path. All you can do is care, at the very least.
I want to say this too. You know, even the people who seem like they're killing it and they're like happy-go-lucky all the time, those people suffer too. And
Robin Williams, perfect example.
So I mean, and also, like, it's okay to mess up. It is okay to mess up. It's a part of it all, you know. And if we didn't mess up, you know, how would we'd have no experiences to learn from, you know, and so, you know, we wouldn't hopefully repeat history or some bullshit like that, you know.
The wise words. The wise words.
That ending a little bit,
hey,
but
we're
like,
not
you guys get the picture.
As we emphasize, right? We're not a smart, intelligent podcast, right? We're not a self-help podcast. But what we are is we are honest. And let's be real, guys. There's just you have something to learn from it. It's either your experiences or you're not. And in these situations, you know, people are there to support, people are there to help. But and someone mentioned this in the comments. The only way that you can help someone that actually has a problem is if they want to help themselves. And I think 100%. That's the first step. That's the first step, Kevin. If you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is the first step, right? They have to want to have that help. When they want that help, they become receptive to things. And that's when you guys out there, the support system, can lend your hand because you care. You understand what that looks like. Hey, they're receptive of what you're willing to do for them. They're receptive of it. They're not turning away. They're not lashing out at you. It's not a resistance. It's a reception. And that's what you guys are out there for. If you're not struggling, and again, everybody deals with this. If you're not hit with it personally, yourself, individually, and you know someone that is, like Matt says, all you can do is care. All you can do is be there for someone, lend a helping hand, drop a link, do something.
Yeah, no, and honestly, like, I always hated the idea of like, man, do I really have to hit rock bottom to like get help? Like, it's different for everyone, man. And sometimes someone once told me this, I can't take credit for this one, but someone said, like, how do you know when you hit rock bottom?
You know.
And then there's, you know, but there's also like, just stop digging.
That's a really good point. I can definitely relate to hitting rock bottom to know that it's time for change. Sadly, that's one of the reasons I left California. I ran my life into the ground. My band broke up. My girl cheated on me. I had a dead-end job, and I ran away from my problems, and I spent 3 years not fucking solving them. And the best thing you can do is not run from those issues. If you can gain the courage and the strength to address them head on, you're going to be better for it, because I wasted 3 years I'll never fucking get back because I ran from a bunch of problems and I kept being self-destructive over it.
Don't think of it as a waste, dude. Just, you know. I
learned a lot. I learned who I didn't want to be.
Yeah. Everything you didn't like about those 3 years, just remember how that shit felt, file it away, and just every time you feel that again, just know like, oh shit, like not this again. Like we're not, just learn from it, So
I never thought we were gonna get this emotional on the podcast.
Honestly,
ever.
dude, you're killing me right now. Like,
dang, welcome to my wheelhouse, boys.
Guys.
Welcome. What's up? Welcome to my wheelhouse. This is what I'm talking about. Let's keep it going because I can talk all day about this shit.
FYI, the song that's coming out next Friday is not an original. It's I've only done one other cover ever. Yeah, and it was on the Black Parade anniversary album that Roxanne put out.
Do you know what my favorite cover is that you've ever done?
What?
He's just said he's only ever done one other one.
Yeah.
No. He didn't record it. He didn't record it.
Oh, you mean okay? What?
I think you performed it on the Warped Tour I was on, and I made fun of you heavily for it.
Oh God, yeah, the Rage song. No, it's great.
He covered Rage Against the Machine on Warped Tour 2016,
What
and
song? Bulls on Parade?
Can you imagine?
What song was it?
Fuck you! I won't do what they tell me.
Okay, so did you do the whole song or just the "fuck you"? I won't do what you tell me.
No, we didn't do the whole song, but everyone was
that's good.
Everyone was so confused, but
you're good.
But at the same time, you like can't like groove to that song.
It's an impact thing. It's a oh shit, they hit us with the don't stop or fuck you, I won't do what you told me. They hit us with the rage. Oh, that's all it is.
The problem is that a lot of the ghosts were not around for 1996 and Evil Empire, so they thought, wow, this is a really weird new Ghost Town song.
Hey, no, okay, so we just saw the Used, and they do a whole thing where they play a song and then bust into Nirvana, right? So they play a part of Teen Spirit for like a minute, and then they go back to their song. And no joke, we just saw them, and there was a good portion of the crowd that was like, what? And just like dog tilt head to the stage because they didn't know what was going on. And you're just like, hey, okay, well, you must be the young ones.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Brian, but I am currently getting ready to post a teaser of the song that's coming out next Friday. That's sick.
That's Nirvana.
I love me some Nirvana.
That's sick.
This is lemonade.
So this teaser that I'm gonna post on my personal Instagram is a teaser of the song that's coming out next Friday with Nightshade. It's actually considered a Nightshade, Kev Ghost, and Ghost Town collab.
Get it.
The song's called "Walking with the Ghost." Ha. But
I get it because you're a ghost.
It's cool. Nightshade's really dope. He turns emo songs into electronic dance music, and he also gender flips at the same time. So
oh yes, I dig this shit. Yes.
So it's so you guys get the idea. So the song we're doing is actually a Tegan and Sarah song, which is no one would ever expect that I would cover a song like that. But actually, funny enough, I used to be a Tegan and Sarah fan.
Hey, Tegan and Sarah, whatever. That's cool.
Great,
it's a weird thing, but okay. It's cool.
They have a song with the Lonely Island called "Everything Is Awesome." Everything is awesome, and I don't know how you can't listen to that and be happy.
No, Nightshade is super. I'm sorry. I don't. I'm so bad at the podcast.
Go. It's gotta happen. We have 3 fucking people on here who are mad passionate. Go ahead.
You know what? I feel weird not having like a mic or something.
You do have a mic. You're talking into one.
Yeah, technically you do, but I'm not going to explain that to you.
So,
okay. Does that feel better?
You're fine. You've been fine for 2.5 hours. So
you're more than fine,
you're still
baby.
Fine.
I should have just did this the whole time, or like had it set up.
Oh, a fake mic with no cable.
Yo,
so
cup the mic like an 07 Screamer. Yes, the Lego song, Eileen. You get exactly what I'm talking about.
So
thank you.
So Brian, I don't mean to be like a guy or anything, but we're coming up hard here on 2.5 hours.
Are we done yet? Are we
Only
there
the
yet?
podcast is going to suffer. I just want to ask some happy questions.
There's still more. Go.
Yeah,
Still more.
we still got 3.5 hours worth of material.
I'm about to eat an empanada, so.
Okay, well, hurry because I'm not posting this until you ask these questions. Oh,
Ask away.
also, guys,
There's more. What?
more happy stuff. There is going to be a pre-saved link in my bio as well for this. I'm going to put that in there right now. So pre-save that shit.
This is all going to be available on the I Hate the Scene channel on YouTube, so
Nope.
you can watch it over and over. It'll be aired in its entirety. The only way this is going to be edited is for the audio format because of Squarespace. So, big thank you and fuck you to Squarespace. I want to ask you some happy questions now.
Okay.
We've gone through the reel.
You can end it with the flower.
Party in the Graveyard is now 10 years old. What the hell do you plan to do about that?
Okay, correction.
Big
It is
questions.
not 10 years old yet. It is
Almost. That counts.
It is coming up on 10 years old. And honestly, that is the most realistic, like, I mean, I am shooting for a 10-year Party in the Graveyard reunion tour. Like, I don't know why I said reunion, but like a Party in the Graveyard tour.
I'm mad happy for that.
Celebrating that album where we will cover the song Happy Birthday and
I like where you're going with this. The happy birthday cover. The happy birthday cover.
Yeah.
Okay. Throwing a curveball at us. All right. Covers.
Yeah.
I
And
get it.
we'll have a different cake every night and we'll have 10 candles on it.
Yes, Matt, you spare no expenses when you do a 10-year anniversary. Have you not been to a 10-year
We will have
anniversary
10
tour?
candles on it.
Spare
And-
no expenses.
And that it's like pyrotechnics.
Only in venues that are allowed. Only in
But
venues
it'll
that
be all
allow
we can really
pyrotechnics.
afford candles.
Candles,
Most of
yes.
my favorite bands don't
Candles.
last 10 years, so yeah, I'm not used to this.
Yeah,
Um,
I refuse to break up Ghost Town. That's just not going to happen.
No, I mean, you would make too many people sad, so fuck doing that. We've been sad enough on this podcast.
But
Um,
I will put out Kev Ghost music until this 10-year tour happens. And who knows, maybe we'll do something sooner than that. But
Do we have to start some sort of like street team marketing to get the Ghost Town back together? Do we have to
You just have to
go-
alert the ghosts.
Ghost Town is not broken up.
Okay, what do we got to do then? What do we got to do to fucking
Town-
make this shit
Well,
happen?
first, there's got to be no pandemic so we
Okay.
can tour.
Okay.
So
Mar-
can you
May
come up
8th?
with this cure, Bryan, please?
May 8th. May 8th, it's good. It's already
Every
been
day
announced.
I go to FYE and Hot Topic and I buy at least 2 copies of Evolution just to keep this dream a reality.
Well, considering there was only 10 in each store in day one, that's really sad that they're still there.
Considering the distribution numbers, Matt,
Yeah.
that's pretty bullshit that you're lying to us because the distribution says otherwise.
I just happen to live in a market that didn't buy our album, bro. It's one of those rare feats. Second to last question on the
Yeah.
happy questions. Why does the internet say that your net worth is 10 mil? Because I like know you and shit, and I've had to pay for your Del Taco before.
It's not 10 mil. Oh no.
I think I've seen that. Yeah, apparently, somehow someone came to the
Dang.
conclusion that my net worth was 10 million Monopoly dollars. They must have been talking about Monopoly
You
money.
could be
but
dang pissed off at the internet for saying you're worth more than you are. That is horrible.
honestly,
I'd be
How did
so
they get
mad.
that number?
I'd be so mad. I'm worth how much, motherfucker?
maybe that's why
10 million?
people slide. Maybe that's why some girls slide in my DM because they think I'm worth 10
10
million.
mil, Kev?
Oh, that's
You're
what it
buying
is,
all the
Kevin.
mountain properties.
No,
All of them.
honestly,
It
I
has
do not
nothing to
know.
do with that face.
I have no idea why it says I'm worth $10 million.
Or the
Yeah, I have no idea. That is fucking strange. I am worth like 10 million pennies.
which I believe is like $100,000 if I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong?
Oh,
there?
well,
How much is that? Is that
never-
$10,000? How many dollars is that?
Never mind then, because I don't. Yeah,
No, a
I'm
million
actually
pennies is 1,000.
broke as shit. Hey, speaking of being broke as shit, like,
Welcome to the club. COVID-19. What up?
no,
Holla.
if there's this thing that Spotify is doing.
Yes, where they're paying the artist.
Well, no, not that one. They're still robbing us, but or did
Well,
that? No.
They're doing the thing where you can donate and it goes to
Yeah,
the
you
artist
can
now.
donate.
Yeah.
And I signed up Ghost Town and Kev Ghost for that. If
There you
anyone is so inclined.
Go donate.
And then hopefully the person who runs that net worth site isn't on here and changes my shit to just broke AF.
Make it
I just
factual.
want to point out that iTunes and Apple Music always pays the artist more per stream. So if you're going to download, if you're not going to buy the physical copy that exists in like 4 locations, go on iTunes and stream the living shit out of Ghost Town until Evolution is back up. My final question for you, my brother. What is next for Kev Ghost?
All right. Well, not tour, but no, honestly, as soon as bands start touring again, I'm gonna fucking figure it out. But I'm just gonna keep putting out music, man. I got this awesome cover song coming out on Friday. Then I have another song in the queue that I'm just working out artwork for. And then I have another song in the queue that's already just needs to be like mixed and mastered that I'm doing with my homie Say We Can Fly featured on it. It's really sick. So that's really something great to look out for. I really do.
You're busy, man.
I have a lot of music that I've been
busy.
waiting to release, really. And I'm going to see how many music videos I can fit into the mix with that. I do have a music video that I just recently put out on my YouTube channel. If you guys haven't checked that out, please check it out. I also have, excuse me, I'm drinking pineapple juice, by the way. This shit's bomb.
Get it.
Yo! Threw you off big time.
Matt,
Pineapple
they're like
juice.
sucking on a like weed vape pen like while we're not looking because you look kind of baked right now.
He looks baked. What? What are you talking? What are you?
Fact, as much as I endorse weed, I haven't been high in over 2 months.
You know what? I like CBD personally.
If you like CBD, you should try Fightback CBD.
I'll go there.
Anyway, okay.
You done fucked up, boy.
I'll do it.
Also, I don't want to forget to mention that I
Bye again.
I came out with my own damn. I'm super proud of this. I came out with my own nail polish, which my nails aren't painted right now because I'm about to make a video where I paint them.
My toes are painted, but I can't show you because I'll pull a hamstring.
What's it say?
It says the 13th. It's my brand. I'm doing that rapper thing where I don't have my own merch. I just have my own like clothing line or whatever. Except it's not just I'm playing, but like honestly, I am really proud of this, and it's some girl that works at what's that freaking cosmetic store called?
Sephora?
Claire's?
No, Matt. Not Sephora, but a different one than Sephora. Freaking
Mac?
No, there's another one.
Makeup place, babe. Not Sephora.
What's it called? It's like
Urban Decay?
No,
Babe.
this is gonna.
Target?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But now I need to know.
Subway sandwiches?
Anyway, it's like Sephora, and she works at this giant makeup store, and she's like
Ulta!
Ulta.
Thank you, Shahad Khalid, very
Ulta.
much. You had the correct answer.
Okay.
And Kaylee Dunham. All the girls in the chat had the right answer. But
Yeah. No,
You get claps, guys. Good job.
the girl works at Ulta. She's awesome. She's a huge supporter. She has been working there for a few years. She's like, I've tried every nail polish in freaking existence, all the blacks. And she said, your nail polish is the best formula that I've ever come across, especially for a black. And it has like, she's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm like, and here I am, like, I got lucky that the place that I go through, it just happens to have the best shit. So, yeah. I mean, as a guy, like I feel like we, like a lot of us at least, don't care about that as much. I thought black was supposed to look brown at first, and then you just go over it a couple times. But this looks, it's full coverage, one swipe, boom. And then I just came out with this one. I'm sorry. I know this sounds
do it.
like
Do it.
I'm just
it's like
really,
QVC.
No, I'm like just honestly, like I've been waiting on these forever. They take forever to make, and I'm really excited about them. This one is really dope. It's matted charcoal with sprinkles. It's really sick. It almost has this like kind of like tealish, bluish, greenish color. Really dope. And honestly, this I wanted to make a nail polish that like guys would feel good wearing too, but for not being black, this looks really dope, and I feel really comfortable wearing this personally, dudes out there. And then I'm about to come out with my matte black. Anyway, I'm really excited about that. So
black as his
I just
shoes,
thought I'd share that
bro.
with you guys. So
Nail
that's
polish.
Yeah, no, it's like mad dark. Like, I bet Chris
black,
will
black.
be wearing it like
It's
next
black.
month.
Black.
Yeah, no, I already ordered like 4 bottles of it. I don't even wear nail polish. I figured I'd try it out.
Doesn't wear nail
honestly,
polish.
like I'm not
Doesn't wear
even
nail
kidding
polish.
you. I'm not even kidding. Like
Back.
All right, bye.
I love painting my nails. I really do. There's something about it. I think it's because I have to really focus, and it makes me like
Meditative almost.
it's almost like kinda.
Yeah.
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 And when someone else paints my nails, it makes me want to fall asleep.
Oh dang.
Whoa, hey,
It's
yo.
like opposite almost.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But anyway, I got that, and that's at the 13th dot shop where my Kev Ghost merch is at too. So if you guys are interested, help a brother out, get some nail polish,
Gang.
gang.
I wear it on my toes all the time.
You know what?
It helps me get goth girls at the mall.
My mom used
he has
the matted charcoal with sparkles on her toes. She took it to the nail place before the quarantine, and it's so sick. It looks really good. I wasn't about to post a picture of my mom's feet though online. You know?
I was gonna say, I love how we went hard into nail polish. You might as well. Post the feet. We like feet here, so you might as fucking well post it up. We'll tag it. We'll share
Your
it. We'll
podcast likes feet. My podcast doesn't deal in feet as much.
We'll
but
share
if you
the feet
posted
up.
a picture of your mother on the internet, you might grow to regret that.
I'm right.
Hey, bro, post her.
And I said sprinkles instead of glitter.
Same thing. It's vampire sprinkles. Vampire sprinkles. That's all it is.
Mr. and Mrs. Ghost are the nicest parents I've ever met, and they've put up with like plenty of my bullshit before. So much love to them.
Matt, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Are you trying to make this 3 hours?
What are you talking about? You just went on your nail polish rant. What do you mean? That was 20 minutes of you on a nail polish.
Was that 20 minutes?
I was trying to make it 16 hours.
I'm fucking with you. No, we're good. Honestly, what else am I gonna do?
Actually, I was gonna get into the second wave of album reviews today.
Here we
Reviewing
go.
Country albums, yeah.
Matt, I thought had one last question.
And the next,
I thought you had one last question, Matt.
That was my last question. Is what is next for Ghost, Kev Ghost, and apparently it's all nail polish.
No, but hey, get this. What do you guys think of this?
Shark Tank. Let's go. I'm about it. Is it Netflix movie theaters?
Love
the idea.
I love Shark Tank. Honestly,
I love Netflix movie theaters.
When I was 13 years old, I used to call 1-800-INVENT-TECH because I thought I was a fucking inventor. And little did I know that later on they'd call those entrepreneurs.
Spell entrepreneur.
No.
That was an emphatic no.
And that was the last question of the interview. I want to thank each and every one of you ghosts for sticking through this. Y'all are the real MVP because you've been with us through 2.5 hours of nonsense, a 20-minute pre-party on Instagram Live. Thank you all so much. This was the most incredibly fun interview I've ever done, the most personal interview.
Laura, Anthony.
Kev, give your shout outs.
David.
Give your shout outs.
Huh?
Kevin, give your shout outs. Social media, where people can find you. Go.
Yeah, guys. But guys,
here we go. 40 more minutes.
Guys,
nail polish.
No. Check it. I'm gonna post this right now. Hold on. While we're on here, real quick. Oh fuck.
Matt, what are your social medias? Go. While Kevin's getting ready. What are yours? Go.
You can find us, and each and every stream is available at facebook.com/iHateTheScene. You can find us on Instagram at iHateTheScene. You can find us on Twitter at the difficult name of iHateTheScene. because the other one was taken, and fuck that Michael guy who took it.
That Michael guy.
You can find me at of Bryan of Death on Twitter and on Instagram. That is of Bryan of Death on Twitter and Instagram. You can also check out my podcast at commonchaos.net. Kevin, are you ready?
No. Yeah, I know he's still promoting this fucking nail polish.
Follow,
shit, but I
don't
don't know what to tell
unfollow
you.
me.
Don't. Why would we unfollow you? We're not going to unfollow you, Kevin. You're getting tons of followers.
I'm just kidding. Freaking.
Matt's on a shoe.
Did you want me to
Keep
shout out
talking
my?
about fucking nail polish.
Yeah,
You want me to shout out my?
Your social medias.
Okay, yeah.
So like, go.
Everything is /KevGhost, and then Twitter is at it's KevGhost.
Okay.
My YouTube KevGhost.
Okay.
I should probably actually like update my. I haven't even like set up the Facebook thing yet. I think I see the name.
It's okay. You just announced that you're doing a cover song with Nightshade. You just announced that you're going to be releasing some music.
Yeah.
You've got a couple other tracks that are in the pipeline.
Oh, dude.
What else you got for us? Where can they find you? Snapchat, you're on Instagram, you're on Twitter, you're on everything, right?
Everything. Snapchat KevGhost, Twitter it's KevGhost, all that. Guys, I won't do it on the stream. I'll do it like literally right after I'm like typing in the description and gonna overthink one sentence. Watch me. And
I just got your number. I just saw your iPhone number from that shit, dude. I'm totally gonna blow you up.
Spam.
Oh,
spam,
weren't we gonna do that?
Boot City, Cat City, Boot City, Cat City. Boot City.
Oh yeah. Give out your phone number, bro.
No, okay. So I'm literally gonna post it right now, and I would love for everyone in this stream to go and check out this teaser for this song and leave a comment.
Can you post it in the chat? Can you post it?
Spam emoji. No, actually, don't just leave an emoji because those are the comments that people buy. So leave like something. I don't know.
Can you post a link in the chat so people in the chat room can see it? Because once the stream ends, the chat room's gonna So
How do I do that?
well, if you have the link, text it to Matt. Matt can share it.
Hold on, I got
Boot City, Cat City,
I could
Boot
do
City, Cat
anything.
City, Boot
Yeah,
City,
yeah,
Cat
Matt,
City,
can you-
Boot City, Cat City.
Wait,
Boot City,
wait.
Cat City,
Here's the
Boot City,
pre-tape
Cat
link,
City,
Matt.
Boot City, Cat
Hold
City,
on.
Boot City, Cat City,
Yeah.
Cat City, Boot City,
This is
Cat
gonna
City,
take
Boot City, Cat
14 hours to upload to YouTube. I'm stoked.
Cat City, Boot City, Cat
Yeah.
City, Boot City, Cat
Shut
City,
up, Brian.
Boot
Nobody
City.
cares about that song.
Hey, are you gonna be one of those annoying people that puts an ad like every 10 minutes?
No, dude, we didn't do ads. We did in-placement ads. You heard us. We said Fight Back CBD. We
Even, like,
did some
pay
beer.
anymore, dude?
We did some beer. We did some other shit.
If you get an ad while you're watching this, you have nobody to blame but YouTube. Sorry, not sorry.
Honestly, dude, like,
Other than the StreamYard ad up in the corner over there.
honestly, like, Ghost Town's YouTube gets a lot of streams a month.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But we get like $30 a month from our YouTube channel. I don't get it.
Ball.
It's because I'm streaming Universe every single night before I go to bed. Thanks for caring, Kevin.
How do YouTubers survive anymore?
We don't. We have regular jobs. Thank you.
I want to eat my
considering
empanadas
yourself
so
a
bad.
YouTuber. That's weird. Yo, you know what's funny? I wake up at night. Like the sun.
Are we really trying to make this?
And I'm like,
Are we really trying to make this 3 hours?
hold on.
You know
hold
what's
on.
weird? You know what's weird, you guys? I wake up almost every morning. Almost.
Yo, sometimes I just legit can't sleep and the sun's up and I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Sleep all day now? No. So I just stay up as long as I can. And honestly, I'm usually in a great mood for like the first several hours of the day. And then I'm like,
What time do you get up, Kev? What time in the morning do you get up?
Morning?
Drop it on it. Drop it on everybody. What time does a productive person like yourself get up? And yes, I have an empanada in my hand. I'm about to eat it. But the question first, what time
This
do you get up
episode
in the
of I
morning?
Hate the Scene is brought to you by Empanada.
I get up
baby.
anytime between 9 and 10:30.
I thought you were going to say 6:30 a.m., dog. I thought you were going to come in with a real hard 6:30 a.m.
honestly,
Like you were up
dude.
early every day.
But you know what's funny? I can be productive until like 3 in the morning because some of my friends stay up that late who I work with.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah,
When I hung out with Kevin every
Yeah.
single weekend, there was a street fair on Thursday nights that was the prime time to promote your Friday and Saturday show. And so we would stay up all hours of the night talking and networking to people on the streets, on the internet, passing out flyers. And then we would go to sleep, and we would be up so late that we would wake up and it would still be dark, and we'd get up and do the same thing again.
That was the best. I love that. Not seeing the sun for like 3 months.
I'm sensitive to light, so I'm all for that.
Matt, I just sent you this. Can you put this link in the pre-save link for all the ghosties, please?
Oh, yeah. I totally blocked you on chat.
Thanks, B. I got to think of a caption. I'm going to put... I have no idea what to put. Hold on. Okay. What's the date next? Or I'll just put next Friday.
Jesus Christ. Next Friday is May 8th, and our guest on the live stream will be Michael Martin from I Wrestled a Bear Once.
I Wabo, shout out.
I'm sure Kev listened to them maybe once in his lifetime. All right, so I just posted the link twice in the chat, so you should see it floating around. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, because that's how I'm able to feed my family. And by my family, I mean my many shoes that I have, including this white Air Force One that needs to be cleaned.
Matt.
That's me.
You are so funny flexing with your shoes, dude. I'm dead right now. And I cannot concentrate on this caption.
Just do it.
Trust me, you wouldn't be able to concentrate on it regardless.
I know, dude. Next Friday. News.
Are we logging off?
No, never. We're never logging off. 16-hour podcast, bro.
Post this. I'll see you over on Instagram.
Oh wait, we're actually getting. Hold on. I'm on the phone.
Are we bouncing?
We're getting off. We're done.
Yeah,
we're really done now.
Hold up, I'll call you back. Are we done? iHateTheScene.com. Kev Ghost, check it out. Ghost Town.
Subscribe on all podcast platforms. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher. All the ghosts are amazing. You guys mean the world to us. Thank you so much for sticking through this.
I love you guys.
Thank you to Kev Ghost.
Drop us a subscribe. Drop us a view. It's good seeing you, Kev, man. Hey, I'm proud of you, baby. Stay strong. Keep your fucking head up. Keep that shit going, baby.
Likewise. Both you guys, too. I'm proud of you guys.
I love you, Kevin, so much. I'm going to talk so much shit to you when we get offline.
See you guys. Bye, ghosties. I love you. See you on Instagram. I'm about to post this clip. Bye.